Welcome everyone. Crazy times demand crazy, intelligent people to come up with amazing solutions. That's why we're here today. Let's have a look.
Nearly everyone will know someone who's been affected. Friends, family, neighbours, colleagues. This is a terrible virus that respects no boundaries of status or geography or vocation. But we are not facing it alone.
That we saw the need in the market for help, for actual genuine help, but also the possibility to come up with your own disruptive ideas and innovate. Thus, we thought that what would be better than uniting students from all around the country and bring them together and give them the knowledge and also the need to actually kickstart their idea.
To me, SACA means thinking forward and finding opportunities that can help all of us get back on our feet again, coming together to create a positive impact.
Also courage to take on a challenge and actually create a change.
The opportunity to create groundbreaking solutions that could not only transform the current corona crisis, but also any other future crisis that lies ahead of us.
You can create, economies of scale, of knowledge, of network.
We don't want to run any experiments without a valuable data met.
How can we use that? Think about it for yourself.
Why this product and why not product from a very similar company?
Distraction or their design elements on your website.
Verbond is een bestel- en betaalapplicatie voor de horeca.
Hand hygiene detectors.
An online delivery service where local businesses can sell
a mask with an activated charcoal filter.
Social distancing proof, real life dates.
Skills matching platform where low to middle income workers can find out which industries they can transition to.
Lokale markten is able to establish the needed connection between market entrepreneurs on one side and the consumers on the other.
Oh boy, I'm buzzing.
Wow. Ain't that a great way to start?
Oh,
what
man.
An amazing inspirational video.
I'm excited. My heart is pumping. That was so cool. Awesome. Let me introduce myself after my amazing co-host, Pierre. Introduce
Hi guys.
yourself.
I'm Pierre. Thank you, Jelmer. I'm Pierre. I'll be a host tonight together with Jelmer, and I'm very excited to hear all the pitches, introduce them to you, and just make it an all-round fun and inspirational night with outstanding pitches and outstanding ideas.
Awesome. So that was Pierre. My name is Jelmer. I'm a presentation skills coach, and most of all, I'm super excited to be here. Amazing initiative. Really curious about the ideas today. Let's have a look at the jury. Okay, guys, today we have 6 amazing people in the jury. Some of them are serial entrepreneurs, experienced people, business people. We've got people from startup incubators all around. A very experienced jury. We're very proud to have them on board. Let's have a quick look at them. But before that, I would like to hear from our head jury, Mike. Mike, please, can you tell us, what is the jury looking for today?
Yes, good evening, everybody. Also, on behalf of the jury, a warm welcome for everybody that is, of course, watching into this live stream, but also all the participants, the finalists. We're very curious what you will show, but of course, we play an important role tonight, but for sure also the people that are watching at home. There's like a cliche in the startup world that at a certain moment you have other people playing a role, and they're called like friends, families, and fools. Now it's up to yourself to decide where you belong. Also, maybe the other, if you're one of the friends, the family, or one of the fools that maybe will contribute also to these ideas that you see tonight. And indeed, what you already said, there is like a great jury where I'm part of, with all kinds of backgrounds in business and in incubators and universities on startups itself. And an important thing to always know is, and that people look at startups and see what they do, but the most important thing, and a startup is only a sort of solution or a way to, in that case, is that if you have a great idea or you have a great solution for something, how do you make sure that at a certain moment it can be used? So that people benefit from it, or like their lives get better or more fun or whatever. And a way to do that is startup. It's called like valorization, so to make sure that people can use of it. And that's also what we're looking into as a jury, as in, is it feasible? So it's nice to have the idea, that's one, but do we also see it at a certain moment happening in the world? Do we see it especially around the corona situation, as in making impact over there? Now that's the second thing, is there impact? Does it really do something, or is it also sort of cliche and nice to have only? And a sort of the third thing is also a bit of the impact of the prize money. Probably you will mention it later on, but there are great prizes to win, a lot of money that can really sort of give a boost maybe to your idea. If we as a jury decide to let you win, does it then also really help that you can really quickly make a kickstart? Or, for instance, do we need millions more to finally make it happen? Because then step one, feasibility, we're starting scouting. So yeah, that's what we're trying to do, and we're looking forward to it. We see 7 nice finalists already, and impress us.
Thank you so much, Mike. Just to sum up, you are looking for the feasibility, you're looking for impact, and you're looking to what extent can this prize money actually help. Just to get an overview for all the viewers and the people who are in this to win it, who do we have on the jury? You just heard Mike. Mike is from Novelty, one of our amazing sponsors. We've got Bas from Leap Funder and Daniel, who's the CTO at Picnic. Man, I'm so excited to have a jury like this on board. They're super experienced. We have Bas from HelloLex, Jin, he's from Globus International, serial entrepreneur, very experienced. Last but not least, we have Steven from the University of Eindhoven, Technical University. Boy, isn't that a great jury, Pierre?
That is. I'm so excited to hear their views on all the pitches tonight. But before we do that, I have to show you the agenda for tonight. So let me just quickly share my screen so we can get into that. Yes,
sharing. You can take over now.
I'm taking it over from you, Jelmer. Thank you. So here you see the agenda. We have 3 blocks tonight. Block 1, breezy deliveries and feed will kick off the Students Against Corona Awards finals. Then we'll have a short 5-minute break where you can stretch your legs, get something to drink, get something to eat. And then we'll continue on with breeze social distance dates and lokale markten. 5-minute break again. Then a slightly longer block with Remask, Bonbon and Maggie. Then the jury will discuss privately for 40 minutes to decide who is going to be the winner, the grand winner of the 5K tonight, and then we'll announce the winners. So that's our agenda for tonight, and let's stop wasting each other's time. Let's go to the first speakers of tonight, which are breezy deliveries, starting with in block 1. Breezy deliveries. Now is your time to take over the screen and start pitching. Let me remind you, you have 5 minutes. We'll be very strict. Afterwards, we'll have a Q&A of 15 minutes where the jury can ask you questions for 10 minutes. And then we can also have audience questions for 5 minutes after. And afterwards, we'll switch again to the next idea, the next team. So Breezy, you can take it over from here. Breezy deliveries, everyone.
Yes, hello everyone. Let me just share my screen real quick.
Yeah, so Pierre, you stop sharing. Amazing. Yeah. Okay, just before you start, I would like to tell also our amazing viewers on YouTube and other people in the chat who are watching this, you can come up with questions, put them in the chat, also on YouTube, and our moderators will tell us what questions are coming from the audience, and we can ask them for you. Yep. Take it away, Jump. Good luck.
Thank you. Is the audio working fine? And can everyone see the presentation?
Loud and clear.
Okay.
Yes, thumbs up.
Yassine as well. Are you here?
Yes, I am here, and I can hear you and see you.
Perfect. Okay. All right. Is the time on right now? Okay. Yes. Okay, so the last couple of weeks have been a scary roller coaster. Nobody could have predicted that a pandemic would put our society in a coma. Not only our health has been at stake, the economy also experienced a big shock and changed the way we conduct businesses. Sometimes from 1.5 meters distance, and sometimes from a very comfort of our couch at home office. But unfortunately, that has not been the case for everyone. That is why we at Breezy have identified 3 main problems that we believe we have the solution to. First being the people who are limited in their mobility by COVID-19 and or have governmental restrictions. Second, are the local businesses who are taunted by low store traffics and thus have lower revenues. Thirdly, are the workers who lost their jobs and do not have an income due to closure or low in-store traffic. And this is how we believe we can help. We are currently building an online delivery service where local businesses can sell and distribute their products to enable mobility for people who can't leave the house or hate long lines, increase sales by adding another distributing and marketing channels to their businesses, and lastly, tackling unemployment with the fulfillment and delivery of each order by our delivery men and women. And this is market validation. Just to show you guys some numbers and the feasibility of this project, the e-commerce market is continuously growing and there's rooms that we can capitalize upon. And to do that, we have created this product. We're giving the customer the ability to search the product that they wish to have through our categories, and then they can also choose how to get that product delivered by their favorite local businesses. All they have to do is order it, and then they'll receive it on the same day.
So who will we serve? Firstly, it's our partners, the pharmacies and drugstores that we will be working with from the start. And we'll be adding other stores along the way. We conducted a survey that showed that over 60% of respondents would like to have healthcare products delivered faster. So that is the reason why we'll be working with pharmacies and drugstores first. Second, it's our customers. Thirdly, it's our contractors, the delivery drivers that get the products from the partners to the customers. So how do we make money? First, we'll be charging a commission based on the overall basket value of each transaction, of each order. Then there is the delivery and transaction fee, a convenience charge. It's a fixed delivery fee that's charged to the customer. And thirdly, when our community is big enough, we will add a marketing and advertising feature that will allow stores to showcase their products and highlight their stores. So what does the competition look like? We made this matrix of the food and non-food delivery of the same day and a regular and scheduled delivery. We with Breezy will be competing in the same day delivery non-food segment of this competition matrix.
So how do we distinguish ourselves from the competition? Firstly, through local distribution, we're going to be partnering with local retailers and deviating away from the centralized delivery systems. And through our contractors, we're going to be able to offer same-day delivery. And with the retailers partnered with us, we're going to be having no inventory costs, so no warehouses are needed. We're also going to be providing our customers upselling, giving them the option to order from multiple stores within one delivery. And we really emphasize on brand trust. So we're going to be creating a profile for our contractors, our delivery men and women, to ensure that our customers' products are delivered with utmost quality and safety.
But our biggest competitive advantage is our team. We work with a multidisciplinary team with a broad variety of experience. We have Jump, our muscle in chief. He gets things done. We have Arthurs, our nerd in chief. He's the mastermind behind the app development. Then we have Diana Wingso, our fashionista in chief, who knows everything about marketing. And then there is me, the chief relationships officer. I will be making or building relationships and maintaining them with our partners. So together, we will achieve these things in the next couple of months. First, we'll be launching our MVP. Then we'll be expanding our partner and consumer base. Hopefully in July, we'll be launching our app. and by August, we'll be piloting in other Dutch cities. And together, we hope to battle COVID-19 one delivery at a time. And together, we will show the Amazons of this world that real impact is made at a local level.
Thank you.
All right. I guess that's the end.
Yeah,
that's it.
Thank you so much,
boys.
Thank you so much for sharing your idea on helping vulnerable people still getting their supplies in these times because they still need it. So that's really nice. I'd like to start Renee from our jury. So Mike, are you there?
Yes, I'm luckily still there. Thanks, guys. Always impressive to kick off as the first one, especially in these circumstances with all the audio and stuff. So really happy to see that. Good for people to know. As a jury chairman, I'm now also a sort of technician that needs to make sure that on all the locations, I know that the jury members have a question. And they do that with raising hands that I only can see. So I want to start with the first question from Jin Han.
Thank you for a great presentation. I had two questions. So how do you manage the quality control? By that, I mean, I understand it's a same-day delivery, but if the delivery person is sick or doesn't deliver and runs away somewhere else, how do you manage that situation? Then second question is, what is the exit strategy?
Jump, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, so in terms of quality control, we're going to be basically hiring the contractors ourselves to maintain a close relationship with them. However, starting off to maintain trust and liability issues, to deviate away from that, we're going to be delivering the products ourselves just to really understand the consumer base and really also get the chance to interview and interact with them upon delivering the products. Yeah, and Yassine, would you like to take the second?
Yeah, could you emphasize on exit control? Exit strategy, sorry.
Was that a question to Jin?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, exits. Oh, so what's your end goal? Do you want to sell your company to someone, or do you want to go IPO and be listed in stock market? How big do you want to grow?
Yeah. That is a very good question. I would say, like, right now we really enjoy what we're doing, and we enjoy each and every step, like reaching out to to the partners, talking to potential customers, and as long as we enjoy doing that, we will be doing this ourselves, hopefully with the help of good mentors and investment partners.
Great, thank you. And then we go over to Bas Riete from Liefvande.
Yeah, guys, first of all, a great presentation. My compliments. I really like the synergy between you guys too. But I had a question about the very nature of your guys' company. Well, because it is essentially a platform, and you know, a platform is home to the chicken and the egg problem, right? So how do you achieve critical mass? And are you first going to go to the supply side, or first going to go to the demand side? And more precisely, I want to know how exactly you're going to tackle that.
So essentially, we would like to see whether we can get traction with a couple of local players here in Amsterdam, and see whether we can leverage their existing consumer base to order through the platform. If we see that our minimum viable product gains traction, we will be working both sides, so both the supply and the demand side.
Okay, but the thing is, like, how are you going to go past the initial phase of, you know, convincing partners to join your platform in the very first place?
We believe through personal networking. If we go to the partners ourselves, recruit them hand by hand, I really believe in the power of in-person networking.
Yeah,
obviously on a 1.5 meter distance.
Yeah, and especially with partnering with local partners, they're not as big in scale. It will essentially be a win-win situation for both parties, because we're going to be giving them another sort of like a distribution system or another way of getting their products out there. So we would think that we will make a pretty convincing case for them to join our app.
Right. Okay, makes sense. Then I have a follow-up question. Is there a possibility to go back to the slides? Or like otherwise it's fine. It's fine. Because you guys stated you guys are tackling a problem in trifold, right? So first of all, you guys are helping the people who are currently stuck at home because of COVID-19. But I'm wondering, have you guys validated this very problem? Because I can imagine that very few people have such a small social circle that none of their friends or relatives is willing to go to the store or to the shop for them. So I was just wondering if you guys have actually validated your problem and whether this is a problem to begin with.
Yassine, would you like to mention our market survey?
Yeah, sure. We actually conducted a survey with over 40 respondents. And basically, we asked several questions based on what kind of on the delivery service concept. So not about Corona. And that is where we got the respondents to tell us that they are actually looking for, or are willing to pay for a service that provides them with healthcare fast delivery.
Yeah, so this project will be viable in the long run as well, and not just during this pandemic.
Nice. Let's go to the other jury members. Good to know. I still know that Jitse Groen that started takeaway.com in the beginning literally went in Enschede from restaurant to restaurant to get them in. So you cannot imagine that nowadays if you see them, these orange goats biking everywhere in the orange bike. So, but it is possible. Let's go to the other bus.
Yeah, great. Well, as the other jury members already said, a very good presentation. Your chief fashionista officer did a great job on making the presentation look very good. So thumbs up for that already. You already mentioned in your last answer that you're targeting like the local stores, right? You're targeting the local suppliers. But then on the other hand, I'm thinking, all right, how do you want to make sure that they're feasible for like getting to work the whole platform? So do I have to think about people who deliver all the products, right? They have to think about, all right, how does the order come in? How do we process the order, et cetera, et cetera. So there are a lot of steps for those local marketers that they have to go through in order to work with your platform, right?
Yep. So we have identified that problem as well. And we talked to our app developer, Archie. And basically it also boils down to our partners and what they have right now. So some of the partners might have a database of their products already that we can utilize. But if not, we're going to be having to build that platform ourselves. And also most delivery companies, they usually give the partners like some sort of tablet for them to maintain the orders and keep track of them, as well as stock.
Yeah, so, but you're asking a very big deal of those partners itself, right?
What do you mean by a big deal? Can you please clarify?
The only thing that you're offering is the platform itself. So they have to make sure they have to handle the whole process further on for themselves, right?
And
Go on.
Did I go? Yeah, sure. So initially what we talked about with our nerd in chief is that we will have a backend that actually supports all of that. So basically the only thing that a potential partner should have to do is download the app on their tablet, and there they will get all the orders, and they will be also able to add products themselves, like make a photo, add a product to the store.
Okay, well, the last follow up then, I think it's a very big deal, and I think it's very relevant to have a good understanding of how you're going to manage, as Jin said, how you're going to manage the delivery. So if for instance, if a partner is fed up or doesn't know how to handle it all, you guys are of course with the platform the ones that get the blame. So I would really dig into the whole flow of concept.
Thanks a lot. We'll definitely make sure that we have a proper onboarding.
Yep. Great.
Okay, we've got time for one more jury question.
Yeah, then of course, especially in this situation, let's go to Daniel Gebler from Picnic Technologies. Because is this competition or is this not? Daniel?
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me, and also from my side, and building up on Jin and Buzz remarks. Very nice presentation. You guys are in online and food and delivery, and that is hot. The market is definitely there. If it's just a kind of a Corona market or whatever is more long term, we will see. I think the breakdown. There is definitely a little bit more to be said on the numbers, but that is maybe not my focus. I have essentially 3 questions. The first thing is, if you look into a business model for the proposition that you are proposing here, it is an e-logistics business, and a platform and a market business. So from this angle, I would like to understand, how do you want to solve the last mile problem in better ways than what is already there, for instance, done by Uber Eats, Deliveroo, Hausbesuch, etc. Just for an example, Globo recently collected 500 million for a similar proposition for the kind of online delivery in Spain and South America. So this is a very expensive business model. So this is number 1. Number 2, I would like to better understand, how do you want to organize your partner acquisition at scale? And what I'm looking into is a good example from the past is maybe Groupon, just a kind of voucher / discount site, which also tried to get all kind of local merchants on site, and it became extremely expensive for them to make this at scale. So how do you want to organize this?
Sorry, could you please, because the connection wasn't that good, could you please repeat your first question?
Yes, sorry, once again. Then the first question is, how do you want to tackle the last mile problem efficiently? Do you want to build up an own fleet? How do you want to do it at scale?
Yes, so essentially we would like to get people on board, just like Thuisbezorgd does, that they can apply through the website, they get onboarded properly, and then we have a fleet of independent contractors.
Okay. And the second one is, how do you want to acquire partners at scale? The example is, how do you want to make it better than a Groupon acquired local merchants, which was extremely expensive at scale for them?
So essentially, it will be, it is extremely expensive if we keep the model of going to local businesses ourselves. The idea is to create a platform big enough and build a community that other local merchants can sort of like ignite each other and be like, hey, this is the Breezy delivery app, we make use of it, and then sign them up through the website as well, so that we make sure that, and also like through emailing of local merchants and onboard them through the website instead.
Maybe one follow-up question. You focus now on food, or food was one part of the proposition. What else could you do as a logistics or delivery service?
It's actually non-food, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just to clarify that again, we're going to be starting off focusing on pharmaceutical and healthcare products. So sort of like finding a niche in the market where products like that is not really being fast delivered in a way, just for us to enter in the delivery business.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, jury. Thank you for your questions. Now we have 2 minutes left. We've gotten 2 questions from the audience, so I please like to ask them now. Question number 1 for Team Breeze Deliveries. How would you be able to deliver local products at a high speed? So because you want to deliver it within 1 day, since retail items are usually delivered from central warehouses only.
So essentially this boils down to our business model again. We're going to be partnering with local retailers. So instead of delivering from a warehouse, we're going to be delivering from stores, like what food delivery and beverages deliveries companies are doing right now. So we have contractors as bikers biking around the city, going between stores and delivering it straight to our customer. So we're skipping that middle process of dealing with the warehouse.
Okay, I understand. Thank you. I hope that will clarify the question or the answer. So second and last question from the audience. Concerning building a minimum viable product around this, do you need suppliers to MVP this platform, or will you do drop shipping?
I don't think it has been, no, we won't be doing drop. We'll be working with local merchants. So essentially we'll be I don't know, like let's say it's your local drugstore where you get your vitamin supplements. Those are the kind of guys that we'll be working with. Those will be our warehouses, so to say.
Awesome. We've got one more quick question in the chat. What is your market size? Asked someone. I don't know if you've already talked about it, but that's a question.
It's a really good size. A really good question. Basically, in our market validation, we took the numbers of the e-commerce, yeah. So and the number of online orders in the Netherlands, and that is 258 million units that are being ordered online each year. And we would like to take an X percentage of that. How much it's going to be, time will tell.
Yeah, and the valuation for the pharmaceutical industry alone in the Netherlands is around 4 billion from research. So there's room for potential.
All right, thank you guys. Thank you so much. We're out of time.
Yep.
We have to go on to the next team.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Really nice.
Thank you.
Jelmer, you can take it from here.
There we go. Well, the next team is helping people get up on their own feet again when they've lost a job or when they want to switch a job. Let's give it away to Team Feed. Are you ready for it?
Yes. Am I allowed to share my screen?
Yes. So you have to, if you just press share your screen, you can take it over.
Yeah, but it says host is disabled participant screen sharing.
Just a quick question. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Cool.
Can you try again now?
Okay, let's try. Nope.
What's your name? Then we can make you co-host as well. If the host can make you co-host.
Oh,
quickly.
now it's working.
Awesome.
Okay. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Poverty is not just a lack of money. It is not having the capability to realize one's full potential as a human being. 2 months. It's been 2 months since Jan lost his job. He worked as a waiter in a restaurant struggling to break even, which finally shut down because of COVID-19. Jan's not highly educated. He has been a waiter for 30 years. Unlike the rich and the educated, he does not have the resources to adapt to the situation. There are thousands of people like Jan only in the Netherlands, but millions more worldwide. The world is not prepared for the immense pain and catastrophe from so many job losses. The world is only as strong as the weakest link. Now, Jan may not have a job now, but the problem doesn't end here. Millions of jobs are at risk because of automation, especially now that governments and companies are pushing for digitalization. Now, you will notice that the people for whom it is hardest to adapt to this change is low to middle income workers. Our solution takes into account not just the short-term needs, but also the long-term needs of these people. Let me show you how.
We are Feed, a skills matching platform for low to middle income workers. And here's how it works.
Okay. Are you able to see my website? Okay. So we select Jan's role based on the industry that he works in. And also we enter the zip code so we can match him to jobs in the location. And then our machine learning algorithm will return results based on the skills that Jan enters. And he can choose to either take up this job now, or he can do the courses that we recommend and do another job later. Notice that we also show him the projections for what the industry and the profession will look like over the next certain period of time.
So you might think, is this another job platform? We are not. While the others show people what they want to be, our platform shows people what they actually can be. So let's talk about this guy all again. What is he gonna do? Look up mobile development on learn.io and spend years of work to learn it? Can he realistically promote his CV on LinkedIn? He could look up some jobs on Randstad, but they will not tell him what is the best industry he can transition to based on his skills. We adapt our service to provide both the best recommendations to Jan and the courses he should do that already make use of the skills he has been honing for the past 30 years. rather than just give him a list of courses for random jobs he may actually not be suited to. With skill matching, companies get the most suitable workers, an efficient situation as they can then maximize output and minimize their costs, as the workers are already prepared to take on the role. Our competitive edge is that we focus our services on low to middle income workers who are not extensively catered to by conventional companies. And of course, the natural question is, how do we monetize such a service given our target audience? Well, we charge our customers a fair amount. We are not a charity, but we expect people to pay only after they have secured a job, or at least an interview. The fee can be cut from their wages in whole or in installments, depending on what they earn and if they can afford it at the moment. Our partnerships with employers and education companies will be especially lucrative, along with ads where we promote other companies' ideas. And of course, now, what is our market potential? The coronavirus is a pandemic. Its effects are being felt worldwide. So why shouldn't our solution be so? But also make sure that it stays after the corona has passed. So we want to start in the Netherlands and expand to Eastern Europe and India, as there are millions of low to middle income workers, but career services are exclusively for the elite and highly educated. People depend on referrals and word of mouth, so there is a real need for a structured service there. Thus, we are sitting on a gold mine. So why can we do this? Why can you trust us to do this? Because we have an awesome team, a team of the best students at the Erasmus School of Economics. We come from the Netherlands, Eastern Europe, and India. So we are well positioned to execute this. Rest assured, for we can make people achieve their feet. And if you ask us what is our name, is it fit because we help people stand on their own feet? Is it because we help them make something bright up of their features for the future? Or is it because we make them fit for their upcoming jobs? Thank you, and feel free to reach out on any questions you might have about how we are going to use the money.
Amazing. Thank you so much, guys. It was very well done. I'm actually jumping on my own feet now. Let's give it again to the jury.
Great. Again, great presentation. Also amazing to see how also the duo presentation works. Normally, even on the stage, you already try to avoid that and often let one person do it. So it looks great and it hears great, but also here in this technology, it works quite well. So well done on that. Also great topic. Before I give it to some of the other jury members, I already have a question. And I see for sure that this is a topic that is interesting right now with jobs that are changing, the world that is changing right now, and also the skills that are needed. But my question is a bit, and I can imagine that you can offer that, so you can offer these people. But what about the offer of jobs? Because it can mean that if there are many people getting fired because their job doesn't exist anymore, does it also automatically, of course, means that there are other jobs available and enough available to transfer to? Did you do some research or finding into that?
Yes. So the initial idea of this job was of this project was that we see that certain industries are not doing so well right now, but we also see there are industries that are thriving in this situation. They are building on the new kind of demand that is being generated. For example, Amazon with their warehouse and then delivery, and we see a lot of logistical jobs being super important right now. And we know that it's not just possible to have people doing these jobs at a higher level. You can't just have someone actually designing. You also need people to execute it. So there's a need for all kinds of jobs to fill up the hierarchy in those industries. And this is our idea of how to accommodate that economic shift.
Okay, great.
Awesome.
Bas Riete.
Yeah, thank you. I'm just going to interrupt real quickly. I would like to kindly ask the jury, please, to ask one question, like their best question at a time, because we're time limited. So please.
Yeah, Bas.
Let's see, is Bas still muted? Bas, where are you, my friend?
Otherwise, let's first go to Yin Han, because I see Bas is out of the system. So Yin Han.
Yep, so I'll narrow down to one question then. So my question is, with respect to your machine learning, where would you get your data to train your machines to match right jobs to the right skills?
Yeah, guys, real quick, can you hear me? Just.
Yeah, boss, you're in it. Next question for you. Question now is Jin.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you very much for this question, because we made a lot of research on this topic. And basically, we need the data about the most promising jobs and skills that people need to obtain, and that's the first question. And regarding this, the main two resources is Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development and Eurostat. All these websites have a lot of available data, which can be easily reached online, and this is exactly what we need. They have forecasts about job mismatches or another or future jobs and so on. And another problem that we may find is when people change their jobs, where do they go? And this is much more complicated problem, because luckily we have some information about where people went when they changed their jobs using Bureau of Labor Statistics or current population survey tables. And then we are going to implement a machine learning algorithm to make it and find the complicated job matches between different jobs. So what people were doing, what people can do, and what people can do next. So that's it.
Yeah, nice. Thank you. We go to Bas. Bas, one question.
Yeah. You guys mentioned that you are going to collect fees either when people are being invited for a job interview or when they actually have been appointed the job. And you guys said that it doesn't really make a difference, but it actually does, both for you as for your users. Because since you guys are collecting fees from people, it does actually matter whether you collect fees of people who go to many job interviews, which is beneficial for you guys since you collect more fees. But then on the other hand, it's really unfavorable for the users, because I can imagine if I am a low to middle income worker and I'm being invited to a dozen of job interviews, I still and continuously need to pay the onboarding fee. I will not really enjoy that, so to speak. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. Who's going to answer the question?
Yeah.
Oh.
Can I answer it? Yes.
Yeah, that's Monica. Yeah.
Yeah. So what we said that it was a pay per service fee. So what we asked them is that they enter their details, and then we can keep track of the jobs that they're applying to. And as long as they're successful in getting at least one interview, they pay the fees. That means that our service has been beneficial to them. So of course, we realize that it's very unfair to ask low to middle income workers to pay for all of these interviews. That's why as long as there is one success, we expect them to pay for it. That means that our service is paid off.
Yeah, but I see. But like, since when it's in your terms is being invited for an interview, is that success? Because you can still be rejected, right?
You can still be rejected, but as we're looking at low to middle income workers, and then we're looking at the fact that they're transferring to thriving industries, that means that there's going to be a lot of labor that is going on to these industries. That means that if you're being invited to an interview, that probably means that you were one of the top applicants, because obviously a company is not going to spend too much time and resources on interviewing too many low to middle income roles. If you see what I mean.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay, Bas van der Werf.
Yes, just a quick question. How are you going to make sure that you can assure not only the participants, but also the companies with your AI data? Because it's not just some just tool which you're going to use or a buzzword itself, but you're going to make sure, of course, that you can assure the quality to both parties, right? So how are you going to do it?
Yes, of course, we are going to make to be sure that what we do actually makes sense. And one of the main ideas of our algorithm was to use the actual job switches of past people. So we don't make the algorithm to create something new that nobody ever thought of, but we look what people in the past did, and then based on when they succeeded, we propose these successful patterns to the people that are looking for the job now.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, thanks. That was it for the jury. Back to the hosts.
Yes, back to me. Awesome. We've got loads of questions going on in the YouTube comments. I'm just having a quick look at them because we still have some minutes left. Okay, here we go. Oh, loads of questions. Enthusiastic people. Here we go. So first question, are you actually charging the person that is looking for a job? Why not the company? Because the company is getting the value too. Would you like to answer that, Monica, or one of your teammates?
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what our partnerships are for and why we are able to maximize efficiency for both our consumers and also our companies, is that we are helping them find the people most suited for the role. So we are actually expecting them to pay. And these partnerships are going to be more lucrative, and they're actually a bigger source of monetization for us than our consumer base, who we are able to provide it for at a lower rate thanks to our lucrative partnerships with the companies.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I hope that answered the question for the person who stated it on YouTube. Next one is maybe some harsh criticism, but you will get this probably as well when you're going to be successful. Here it comes. Job/skill matching is incredibly hard. What evidence do you have that you will be able to pull this off, rather than just claiming an AI magical black box?
Okay, so let me open a bit our magical black box and to explain what we're going to do. As I have already mentioned, we are going to make a data set with jobs that are going to succeed. And then we are going to look for job matches that other people did in past using a lot of data from different labor economics resources. And if you want to go a bit more into technical details, we are considering to make use of a weighted network based on, as far as we consider, long short-term memory architecture. And there is a lot of scientific research that shows that these networks work, and most of the predicting of singular things that are made in the world around us are made using these models. So it's not that we invent something new or magical, it's something that already exists.
Aha, the magic is real.
Exactly.
Awesome. I see one of our jury members has another question. Daniel.
Yes, thanks guys. Very nice presentation, also very clear. I won't focus so much on the monetization model, but you're referring on AI as your USP, and you're working in a domain which is pretty crowded, so you need a lot of data. My question is, how do you want to bootstrap such a platform? How do you want to get enough data and enough people on it, enough jobs and enough job seekers and skills to actually make AI work in this domain?
So first of all, I would like to mention that we have a lot of access to data because most of this data is used in economic research as well, and it's available online or using resources of our university. And secondly, we want to start with our client base in Rotterdam because we have a lot of connections with extensive network of our university. And probably they will get the right people to help us start with it and get new clients.
Very clear. Good luck. Thanks.
And if I could add something to that, is that we want to be recognized by UWV, the agency for unemployed people. So that would be a very big boost for us.
That would be amazing. Here comes another question your way. What is the difference with LinkedIn proposing you jobs? And how could you, if you could, collaborate with them, with LinkedIn? Have you thought about that?
Yes, sure, of course. We even mentioned it as our how we differentiate from our competitors by offering what people can actually do. So LinkedIn is very white collar, and it works. For example, if I'm in the finance industry and I apply in the finance industry, then I can see jobs. But if I'm a low to middle income worker, then I will not be able to see those kind of recommendations and those kind of tailored jobs on LinkedIn because their algorithm right now, I don't think it's including that much. So in short, we focus on different segment needs of our clients. And because we don't have these mutually exclusive needs that we focus on, of course, a collaboration is open if LinkedIn can become like the biggest job matching platform, for example, and take into account the low to middle income workers. So we are open about collaboration, of course.
Okay, so if I understand correctly, you try to distinguish yourself from LinkedIn because LinkedIn is mostly, like you said, white collar, so highly educated?
Yes.
Okay, then there's another question from the audience which actually fits into that. Because indeed, maybe for the low or middle income, there's no market like LinkedIn yet, no job search, but how would they actually pay for the platform? Because in their situation, disposable income might not be easy to come by. Why wouldn't they just look for job postings online for free?
Okay, so I think we tackled on 3 questions how we are actually gonna develop the fee, but I would like to tackle on why they're not gonna find it online. So for example, if you take into account the Eastern Europe and the expansion in India, then for example, I'm from Romania. They don't have such services there that can really match them to an industry that's thriving. And also the job platforms are quite unreliable. So we would actually build a structural change in those markets. So that's going to be our edge. And also, yeah, we will start small by making it a bit free for some persons and then, yeah, expand it.
Awesome.
Also, I will add a little notice that we make the platform that shows non-obvious job possibilities, because the world around us is very big and most of these workers can't imagine the whole range of possibilities. And that's why we can help them. They don't only come to us when they look for a job, but they come to us when they want to find what they want to do.
Great. Any questions from the jury? More, or are you very satisfied? I've got one more question from YouTube, but I just want to prioritize the jury now. Mike?
Nope. For us,
Jin has a quick question.
Yeah, I was just wondering, I mean, on topic of the partnership, there are companies specifically doing exactly what you're doing with respect to matching. Have you considered collaborating with such companies? This is more the technical end.
Yes, I know that in the jury there is one that has this kind of company, but that one was tailored more on corporate solutions and not that much on the workers themselves. So of course, there are many supplies and demand sectors which you can bring together via this product. And I think, yeah, we elaborated a bit in our presentation, but I'm looking at the time and it's almost up.
Awesome. Well done, guys. Wow. The bar has been set by the first 2 teams. This is amazing. We're gonna have a quick break. I see it's already 53 right now, so I would suppose we start again at 50. Let's do 58. Is that okay with everyone? Take a real quick break. We expect you to be back in like 4 minutes. So quick toilet break, get some water, and we'll see you in a few minutes.
In the meantime, if you're interested, we also have some entertainment for you. You see on the slide here, go to menti.com and use the code 344282. We have a short free question quiz for you. So if you want to participate, please go to this website. We'll start at 18:55 exactly.
Yes. So go to menti.com, as you can see in the middle right corner. Use the code 344282. And we'll start the quiz in about a minute for those who are able to do a very quick toilet break or just have a big bladder or not thirsty at all. Let's see how you do in this quiz. You just enter your name, join the quiz, and we'll start in about a minute.
Many participants are coming in. That's really great to see.
Only legends.
If you still want to participate, now is the moment to use the code 344282, and then we'll get started.
Just go to menti.com, use the code 344282. I feel, Pierre, I feel like I'm on, you know, those bad television programs where they sell like useless stuff, and you just keep
like Telcel for you.
Yeah, Telcel. That's it. Like, you just have to call now. Last chance.
Well, but this time we're actually selling some quality stuff, some quality entertainment.
Exactly. Yeah. Some quality knowledge going on here.
Also, okay, so it's 18:55. Let's get this rolling. I'm going to start the quiz.
Yes.
So Okay, answer fast to get more points. Which European country would financially be the most affected by the corona crisis? Is it Italy, Spain, or Greece? You have 10 seconds.
This feels like a trap.
Yeah. The correct answer is Greece. 5 people have had the correct answer.
How come?
Well done, guys.
How is that?
Yeah. Well, we shouldn't be too excited about this, actually.
No. I mean,
no. Yeah. Well, let's continue on.
Would the people who got that question right, would they be Greek themselves?
I don't know. I guess we'll never find out. Next question. Long question. Read it formally. Is it Bolsonaro, Putin, or Trump?
Oh man. This is a trap again.
Again, it's a hard one. People are choosing Trump, and that's the correct answer.
Oh, I thought it would. Yeah. I picked Trump, but in hindsight, I thought, oh, maybe it was Bolsonaro. He's the Brazilian one, right? He basically
he's the Brazilian one.
He basically said the same stuff.
Last question. Oh.
Yeah, this was a true question.
I thought there was another question, but it was the ending of the poll. See you for the next questionnaire. We'll do one in the next break.
Can we see the winners?
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Show the voting results. I surely did not win.
No, we'll do the voting results in between, I believe. Okay, we'll do that in the next break.
Okay, so they add up.
They add up.
Ooh, exciting. We have 1 more minute until we start. Everyone, if you can hear me and you're just standing in your room or doing whatever, please have your seat again. Pierre, you will take on the next team.
Yes, we're ready for block 2. Time flies, actually. Time flies if you're having so many quality pitches. So I'm very excited and interested to see what we're gonna experience next in block 2. We're gonna have 2 pitching teams, and we're gonna start soon. In about 1 minute. So I just heard, by the way, that we're being joined with 70 people in total, also via our YouTube stream. So thanks, guys. Thanks for being online with us. And please keep sending us those questions if you have them during the Q&A. It's very great to see everyone being so involved in all the stories and ideas being shared. Okay, so it's 18:58. We have a tight schedule, so let's dig right into it.
Yeah, so let's check. Is the jury ready?
Good point.
Mike.
Yes, the jury is ready again.
Awesome.
And is 3 social distance dates also ready?
Ready.
Okay, well, 3 social distance dates. Please share your screen and take it over from there.
Yes. Yeah. Is it all working?
It's working.
All right. Well, we all know about the health issues that the coronavirus causes. However, the mental health issues that have increased due to isolation seem to be underestimated. Research amongst young singles in the Netherlands showed that in these corona times, 47% admitted to feel redelijk tot erg eenzaam, fairly to very lonely. So, what helps against loneliness? Well, the answer is simple: contact with others. Sometimes people need just someone to talk to, and sometimes people need intimacy. But where to meet new people? There are no festivals, no going out, no house parties, so no more meeting people in the wild. And this won't be possible for presumably quite some months. So what about dating apps then? Well, they help to initiate contact with others digitally. The problem is in the word digitally. Those apps are built to keep you as long as possible in the app, since that is their business. They monetize by upselling you to premium and feeding you ads. So the problem is that digital interactions, like chatting and video calling, are far less effective against loneliness than real life contact. So besides the loneliness pandemic among young singles, There's another big problem we would like to address. The hospitality businesses are hit hard by Corona. They have to cope with a mandatory low occupancy rate and therefore lower revenue for a long time. The solution for them is not in more efficient table settings or longer shifts. Many have to look for different revenue streams to survive. So many singles feel lonely nowadays. It's hard to come in real life contact with others, and hospitality businesses like bars are struggling. What if we can combine these three problems into one social distancing proof solution? That solution is called Breeze. It's a dating app, but it's quite different from the ones you know. First of all, there is no swiping. With an already developed algorithm, we'll suggest 2 high match potential profiles per day. Second of all, when there is a match, we don't offer the possibility to chat. Chatting is hard with strangers, it isn't very effective against loneliness, and most importantly, it often leads to nothing. Instead, you just fill in a date picker and we organize the date. We let you know where to be at what time. So how to organize social distancing proof real life dates in these times? Our solution, walkie-talkie dates. Walk and talk. We pick a meeting point where you get a drink and a snack each, and we'll give you some tips for nice places to see or to sit down in the neighborhood. And to ensure safety, the daters both have to accept a set of guidelines beforehand, like I will keep 1.5 meter distance at all times. Now for the business minds among us. How can this be profitable? Well, we won't show you any ads. We don't sell your data, and we don't withhold you from features to upsell you to premium accounts. No, you just pay once you receive value. That is a fixed amount per date, 10 euros each, including a drink and a snack. We partner with bars and restaurants who will receive 10 euro to prepare those 2 drinks and snacks, resulting in a profit margin of 10 euros per date. Well, with this business model, we intend to help our partners, offer a fair deal to our users, and allow ourselves to continue working on this project. So why us? I see you guys thinking, great solution, but a lot of effort to develop such a thing. Well, good news. We already have something like this. Before Corona, in October, we launched the Breeze dating app. At the end of February, we had accumulated 2,200 daily active users, and our app. And over those 5 months, we have organized more than 500 dates and initiated some relationships already. Also, we have 10 partnerships with bars. Well, then came Corona, and we took our responsibility and decided to stop matching for a while. We took some time to make this pivot towards a Corona-proof concept and are confident that we can continue our growth. We have a team that can execute. We are 6 students from the Technical University Delft and are now fully committed to Breeze. We possess all the technical skills required to develop and scale our service. We possess the design expertise to translate the core wants and needs of our users into a coherent product. We are confident in making strategic decisions and have entrepreneurial experiences before. This week, we will launch a pilot with the walkie-talkie dates in Rotterdam, after which we are planning to expand to other cities. Winning the Students Against Corona awards will be a great motivation for us to continue and will allow us to reach all the young singles that are in need of our solution. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Joris. Joris from Team Breezy's Breeze Social Distance Dates. Walkie-talkie dates to combat loneliness. That sounds really great, actually. For all the singles with us and listening to the stream, what are you waiting for? Download the app.
Thank you, thank you.
Hi, from the jury.
Yes, thank you again also for this presentation, and first of all, also compliments towards the fact that you see that you make changes. Of course, I can imagine that the business changes that you are working on during this crisis. Good to see that you made some changes indeed to still trying to be relevant also nowadays. Before I give it over first to Steven, one small question. So now you're addressing loneliness versus people wanting to have a date. Can you elaborate a bit more on that? Because I can imagine that people in general that want to find dates still go to maybe all these platforms like these Tinders and things that are there, and even for free can find their own drink and don't have to pay for that thing, versus people that maybe don't like that whole digital thing, but do they want to date versus the whole loneliness part. Can you elaborate a bit more on that?
So I hear a few elements, but to start on our target group, it is indeed for people that are fed up with the current dating apps, that don't like the chatting, don't like the swiping. And actually, if you look at the hours you put in to organizing your own date, 10 euros isn't that much. And the second element was how loneliness can be fought with dates. Well, I think it's to fight this loneliness virus, I think people need to have contact with others, and I think dates are like the best types of contact. On the one hand, it can be quite intimate, also on an acceptable distance, and it adds some spice, some excitement to your life. So I think for many people, this will be something to look towards to during the week, and it will help. Yeah.
Great. Before I give it to Stephen to just help us as a jury, we can also see the chat, of course, in YouTube, or at least I can see. So we can do with at least 77 people a small market validation part. As in, please let us know in the chat if you would say like right away, yes, this is for me. Even if you're not single, just don't show it to your girlfriend, boyfriend, or whatever, but show it over there. Stephen.
Thank you, Mike. And guys, thank you for a great presentation. I like the humor in it, anticipating already on potential questions from the jury. And it seems like that you already did some pre-work and validation and actually getting some partners in. So I'm impressed. The only thing I don't completely understand is why would you limit yourselves to people who want to date? Because not everybody who is lonely and wants to get in touch with people wants to have this loaded atmosphere of a date per se.
Yes.
Can you answer that?
Yes, great question. First of all, it's somewhere we start. So we are not actually restricted to dates, but first it's a place to start. And second of all, our name is Breeze. So I agree that a lot of people see the date as a really heavy, big thing, you know. But Breeze is all about making dating more breezy, more airy. We say just go talk to someone, and you don't necessarily have to find the partner for the rest of your life, but at least you have a new evening, have a fun evening, and met someone new. So we think that dating, if looked upon differently, can be a great way.
Yeah. Now, what I mean is that you don't have to restrict yourself to people who want to date, because there are probably a lot of people who want to meet other people without actually looking for a date. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally know what you mean. Yeah, no, and it's something we might look into later. But now, as said, we were already live with a dating app, so our existing users are now also used to us as a dating app. So that is where we will start with this walkie-talkie dates. When it's a success, we might look into other options. Yes.
Okay, and going on to that, because since I didn't ask a question in two previous presentations, I'm going to grab the stage here. How would you deal with people who have problems with a certain threshold like that? More introvert people. It's always tough to actually go out. That's why they like the apps, because it's fully digitally. How would you persuade them to actually make use of the app?
Yes, that's true, and that's something we're struggling with as well. Like some people immediately say, "Okay, great idea, I'll download the app," and some people are more hesitant. But yeah, for now, we just first try to reach the people that are open to go out, and the other ones, we need to find the right story in our marketing to also address to the other people. Yeah, but it's a challenge, and I don't.
You haven't addressed that yet, I guess. Then.
Well, no. What we do in our marketing is making dating more airy, like I said, more breezy. So maybe that might help. But yeah.
Okay. Fair.
Thanks, Steven. Indeed, and yeah, there are other target groups. And there was a company once that started Second Love, but they had the whole politics behind them. So also towards you of Breeze, indeed, make sure you choose your target. Bas Riete.
Bas, are you with us? I don't think Bas is with us anymore, unfortunately. Or
I think Bas is on a date.
Bas is trying it right away and comes back probably after testing it. So let's go to the other Bas van der Werf.
Yeah, it's great. I've just got two short questions. Answer A: how do you cope with like the whole catfishing aspect? And second question is, you stated something like 2,000 plus users and 550 dates. And I'm wondering, from a business model perspective, are those users like recurring customers and daters? And have they already paid 10 euros each for those 500 dates as well? Just to get a bit more of an insight of it.
Yes. Okay, so first, the first question. Well, of those first 500 dates, there were no catfishes at all. But the dates, the meeting point is at one of our partners, and they know that the other people will meet over there. So that means that if there's a catfish, they can tell to the barkeeper or to the person that gives the takeaway, and the date will be ended immediately. So that's how we ensure the safety. The second question, well, of all those 500 dates, not all of them were with a profit margin of 10 euros. But the first one weren't, but in the end we had a profit margin of 12 euros, and it was not with takeaway, but with drinks over there. But now we want to give a little bit more slack to our partner locations that are in hard times, so we decreased our profit margin. And about the recurring users, the last question, of all the dates that took place, 90% of those people started rating profiles after the date again at some point. And this was measured over the first 150 dates.
Great, thanks.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, let's try the Bas again.
Okay, great presentation, guys. Very interesting take actually on dating apps. I've never ever seen something like this to begin with, so that's a first. But just a couple of remarks from my side. People like my age, and especially my friends, they sometimes, like to impress their date with the actual location of the first date. And on the other hand, when you target people, who are rather introverted, it's all about safety as well. So I can imagine that people, want to have their first physical date in an environment where they feel comfortable with. But now you guys are actually subconsciously, eradicating the creative aspect of coming up with a cool location for your dates, because you're basically forced to go into a bar that is signed up with you guys. So how are you guys tackling that very problem? Because although I have a girlfriend, back in the days when I was still single, I wanted to impress my partner with going into these cool bars that no one knows, because it also says a lot about you, about the personality, who you are.
Yes. So honestly, right now we don't have a solution for that. We've heard it before. What we think of implementing is adding some kind of things to your date yourself. So you could order a bottle of champagne or something else to impress your date already via the app, but it's something really for later. Right now we focus on the walkie-talkie dates. So yeah.
Okay. And you can also be creative in what route you take. We just set up a meeting point, and after that you can go anywhere you want.
Okay,
that's true.
Okay, because I was just about to say, what if the bar that is being appointed to you to is overly crowded, or it's just it so happens to be a bachelor party. That's not really a nice atmosphere to have your very first date in.
No, but that's totally true. But that's something we try to prevent. We know our partners we work with. So when there was like a party, then they said like, okay, no dates tonight at our place. And also we try to make sure that the experience at the bars is nice, and the partners also have a stake in this, because we know how the users like the bars, and if they really didn't like a bar, and many users didn't like a bar for a long time, we will stop working with them.
Yeah,
so
yeah, I see. Yeah, just
right. Thank you. No, I have to move on to the questions from the audience, Bas. I'm sorry.
You can chat it to me maybe later. Yeah.
Too bad. Yeah.
We have received some really nice questions actually from the audience. So, for instance, Joris, your startup is already somewhat established. How would this prize money make a significant impact for you?
Yeah, well, due to the Corona pandemic, actually our revenue stopped for 2 months. So we are quite short on money now. So it will allow us to keep on working on this project full time. And another thing is we really, with this walkie-talkie days, we really want to reach a lot of singles with the right story. And that's something we will use it for, mostly for marketing. So I think it can have a great impact. And that's also why I'm really motivated for this.
So let's put some new air, some new breath into your venture.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I understand.
Yeah,
Okay,
we'll
so
continue either way, but it would really help. Yeah.
I see. So dating implies going out, right? Using public transport, risking your health to go to this meeting point that you arrange for your customers. How come this solves the Corona issue?
That's a great question. Yeah. So for the walkie-talkie days, we will firstly just start mentioning within your own city, so that you can go there by bike or set like a radius of 15 kilometers. Yeah. We don't want people to take public transport to go on a walkie-talkie date.
Okay, I see. So it has to be reachable by bike. Let me get, I just saw a really nice question. Exactly. Oh, for instance, this one. Why did you decide to eliminate the swiping effect? It has been tremendously popular and useful within the Tinder app, of course.
Yes, maybe Marco wants to answer this question, or shall I do it?
Yeah, I can answer that question. Well, there's been research on how much time you spend in the app before you actually meet someone. And on Tinder, it actually is 38 hours. So you're spending 38 hours in the app, swiping and chatting before you meet someone in real life. So that's one reason that we decided, you know what, we'll limit the swiping so people take a more conscious choice into who they like, and afterwards arrange a date with.
And this is more efficient than the swiping effect? I mean, like maybe it draws less attention to your app on someone's phone.
Yeah, it could be, but we've within our analysis, we've proven that on average in Tinder it takes 144 matches before you get on a date, and with Breeze it takes only 2. So in essence, it is more effective then.
Oh, that's a clear answer, Marco. Thank you. So Omar from YouTube asks, this is a nice question. I like this one. A nice pitch, yours, well presented. I thought your solution would be a booking app maybe. So you can create a match and then a booking at a restaurant. The restaurant can then prepare the need space and materials for the date and to keep the distance between the matches. Have you thought about this?
Actually, we have thought about this, but to pivot towards this, because we had some time in this Corona pandemic, but if we look at our users and what they need right now, this loneliness virus, it isn't the solution for that. So we didn't do it. Yeah.
Okay, that's a clear answer. Clear answer. So I think we're going down to the last question.
Yeah, there's a question in the chat as well.
Oh, could you read it out? I can't see the chat now, Jelmer.
So guys, you had a sample of around 500 participants for your idea. How did you make sure the sample was not biased? So not only friends, people you know, etc. Did you randomize or whatever?
So the sample was not 500. We have organized 500 dates, and we had like 2,000 daily active users before. And so it weren't it weren't friends and family. And actually, but also we were quite surprised that the man-women ratio was 50-50 at all time. That was a nice surprise for us. Yeah.
Was that random, or did you target that?
Well, we in our product and in our marketing, we target women. And it worked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Well,
we're running out of seconds, so let's just bridge it there.
This is where we bridge towards the next pitch. But thank you so much for your story, and we wish you a lot of luck. Maybe we can be the winner. We don't know yet, but we have some more participants, so we have to give them the chance as well, right? So Jelmer, you can take it on from here.
Yes. Oh man, guys, I think I have to put on some sunglasses because these teams are shining. Everyone's doing so well right now. This is really cheesy, but we gotta keep the energy levels up high. Remember, after this one, we have another break. We're gonna go for another amazing one. This one is lokale markten. Guys, are you ready to take it away?
Definitely. We're ready. Yes.
Awesome. You can take over the screen. Shine all you want. I have my sunglasses. And everyone's really curious. Keep the questions going on YouTube. We've got loads of questions. Amazing to see. Ready as you are.
Okay, there we go. So 2 months ago, I was walking around the Rotterdam local market and I went up to the fish vendors. They told me that they were worried about the possible coronavirus and the consequences. I told them that I understood and I truly hoped the market wouldn't close down. Unfortunately, the next Tuesday, our Prime Minister announced the new corona measures and explained them. It also implied that the local market needed to be closed down. So why is this a problem, I hear you ask? Well, this problem is twofold. First of all, it means that there is no revenue for market entrepreneurs. And secondly, we as consumers are not able to get the diverse, fresh and cheap goods of the market anymore. Circumstantially, 97% of the past sales are made offline, and this is a €3 billion industry. Of course, digitization is the only solution, but we also see that market entrepreneurs lack the skills to digitize. But we can see that some market vendors have set up their separate web shops. But if you go to the market, you want to buy some vegetables next to your fish, or perhaps a towel when you go for pillows. So separate web shops are simply no substitute for us as consumers. So that's why we, from Local Markten, offer you the solution. It's a one-stop shop and delivery platform. It's your one location which replaces the offline market. You simply go to the platform, buy your desired products, and get them straight delivered into your living room. We offer diverse, fresh, and cheap products. And we are able to get the products for the low-end segments because currently they cannot be bought online. And under a survey, which we held on 1,100 email subscribers, we found out that they need an opportunity to support local entrepreneurs. Lokale Markten enables them to do so. So, Lokale Markten was founded 1 month ago by Yasin Sakdur, Tom van Doorn, and myself, Dolf Verheul. There are 3 pillars behind our success so far. First of all, we have a technical and business background. This, as we're students from both the Erasmus University Rotterdam and the TU Delft. Secondly, we've gained a broad experience and a broad range of this experience in startups, governmental organizations, NGOs, student boards, and even academic research. And lastly, societal dilemmas drive us. That's why we're also truly passionate about Lokale Markten. So I understand that you're curious how our product looks like. So that's what I will show you right now. We, as consumers, go to the platform and you can order your desired products and get them delivered at your doorstep. You can, for example, order the products you want, like bananas or onions. But even better, you can also go to the store and shop with your perfect entrepreneur, which you wish to support. They are able to show you their story, and thereby you can bond with them and support them. So what is the traction after 1 month? Well, on the 3rd of May, the platform went live. And we've seen that in this pilot, which we started then, there are 16 entrepreneurs and more than 10 entrepreneurs on the waiting list. In 6 days of opening the platform, we have had more than 100 orders and 4,500 euros in sales within these 6 days. And consumers know where to find us because we have 1,100 newsletter subscribers and we have had multiple publications in both newspapers and we have featured on radio shows. So what are our competitive advantage? Well, first of all, we stick to the essence of the marketplace, which is cost effectiveness and diversity. So we do not do predefined boxes. Secondly, we deliver with local collaborations. So thereby we support your locals and we offer them jobs. And lastly, and maybe most importantly, we work directly with local markets and their entrepreneurs. And by doing so, we enable them to show you their story and we make use of their market expertise. So what's next for the Lokale Markten? Firstly, continuing on in May, we will perfect our concept through the pilot. Furthermore, we will onboard more entrepreneurs using our new business model, our post-pilot business model. In June, we will continue this effort starting in Rotterdam now and expanding more into The Hague. Furthermore, adding more delivery days to our current offering.
In Q3 and Q4, we will launch the platform to we will launch our new post-Corona platform. This will allow us to be stable post-Corona and continue our growth. We will also continue into more cities. Beyond 2020, we will also start daily delivering and expand to more than just the local markets. The money from SACA will be used to grow our team and achieve these ambitious growth targets, as well as it will be used as additional marketing budget to help drive the sales for our entrepreneurs. Lastly, we believe that together with this roadmap and with our entrepreneurs, we can disrupt an industry that's ripe for disruption, and create with our entrepreneurs long-lasting income for years to come. So the question is, join us today, lokale market, your local market at your doorstep. I can't hear anyone.
There you go. You can stop sharing your screen for now. Thank you so much. That was just in time. Let's give it to the jury, Mike.
Yes, also again, proper pitch. I saw actually all the videos also already, so it's cool to see also slight changes, but also your video guys looked really good, and proper pitch deck also already. I have first one question before I give it over to Daniel, as in from our background here in Enschede, we saw, of course, the rising of takeaway.com and booking.com. And in the beginning, it was great for being visible for a lot of hotels and restaurants that you normally don't see. And at a certain moment, of course, a sort of the complaining started because, they still had to handle in a fee and they rather could save the money themselves. So with that in the back of your mind, as in how do you see yourself indeed after Corona, when people maybe go back to their market because it's still cheaper there to go around, and that you still have that local market offer without the markets and these people complaining that they rather do it themselves or rather have the people go back to the market. So I see the solution for now, but how after Corona?
So there's I think two answers to this. Firstly, from a societal point of view, we've already been getting requests from all our customers to please continue this after Corona. And the reason for that is we found in our survey is that there's two kinds of customers. One goes to the market for to have a nice time, gezellig, to enjoy it with other people. And the other goes there for low prices. And I think we can serve that second market really well because we're also very convenient. And right now that's currently just not possible. I don't know if you also want to know the exact way how we're going to do it logistically, but that's their answer for, I think, most of your question.
No, great. That is good to see that. Daniel.
Yes, thanks, Tom. Thanks, guys from Lokale Marketing. Pretty interesting, really interesting concept, and there's definitely a market. Maybe just to quickly answer the question that was asked earlier, there's definitely a post-Corona opportunity, but we can separately zoom into this. I have two questions. First of all, how big is the market from your observation or from your judgment? What is the volumes here on a weekly or monthly level? This is one thing. The other one is how do you want to organize fulfillment and delivery? And the reason why I'm asking is you're talking about a business which runs basically of a large amount of relatively small transactions. So fulfillment, and especially fulfillment and logistical efficiency, is one of the key drivers if you have a business or if you have just a cost center. So maybe you can elaborate a little bit on this.
Yeah. So firstly, I think to answer your second question, I think is most important. We already have a solution for this. We thought it out because, as you said, it's a low transaction market. However, we've seen our average order value double already over the 2 weeks that we're in right now. And I think as our product offerings expand, because the market offering is very broad for the market, we will be able to serve these clients very well, and that will also remove some of the burden from the logistical efficiency that we have to generate. However, we have a solution to do that. But also we don't want to give our competitors a head start. So I'm very happy to share it with you, but we cannot go into too much detail. However, we have a solution on market where we can collect the orders there, pick and pack it. And we've already timed these things last time we delivered. So we have the exact numbers on how long things like this will take. So we know it works, and then we can deliver it from there, not on the same day initially, but within a few days. And that will allow us to achieve the efficiency that we need to have a successful business model.
Right, thank you. Jin.
Thank you. Congratulations on making to the final. And I'm sure you've had many challenges, and I'm actually very curious out of 4,500 euros that you made, if you were able to even make profit, given that there are other expenses that are related. But if you had to pick top 2 or 3 most significant challenges so far, whether it's payment or logistics, as Daniel mentioned, what would you say would be the top 2 or 3 biggest challenges you've faced so far?
Yeah, so first to go into your question about profit, our target in the pilot was not profit. We have a very hack and select method right now to just be able to support the market entrepreneurs. So we've just been aiming to cover our costs and use this as a period for us to learn exactly about these challenges you mentioned. So I can definitely go on about that. I think for us right now, the biggest challenges lie in our implementation. We've started using Shopify, and that's just not the perfect solution. So that's also why we want to start building our own platform, which will solve a lot of these problems, because most of them are related to how the Shopify integration is not working at the moment. So it's definitely things that do not scale at the moment. Yeah, the things that aren't working as well are things like payment to our entrepreneurs. Payment to our entrepreneurs is the biggest one, actually. And all the finance that surround that, that's definitely the hardest. And also onboarding clients, we have to do that manually ourselves right now, which is something that we can definitely also let them do in the future and for a fee help them with. But right now on the pilot, we're just doing things that do not scale, just to learn about all these kinds of things. And we already have plans in the works to fix these things once we have our own platform, so that we can scale from there. So it's just not one of our focus points right now, but yeah, we're definitely working on them.
Nice. Also proper answers. Thanks for that, Bas van der Werf.
Yes, great. Well, guys, great to see, as Jin already said, that you're getting some traction from the market as well, and that you've got like a real good pilot for the last 10 days, because you started at 3rd of May, right? But I'm a bit struggling with your business model. As you were just saying, from the right, we're just started in order to like see how it all is going and how the flow is working out. And it wasn't your real target, but if I'm correctly, your real USP is the freshness of the articles, right? Of the food that is being delivered. That's why people go to those local markets. And then in some later slides, I saw something about that you're planning on in 2021, that you're planning on same-day delivery. So I'm struggling a bit with the freshness and the not having the same-day delivery part. And then as well as Jin mentioned, or Daniel mentioned, you've got like very low order values, right? So I can't really see how it works for both the people selling the stuff and people going to the markets wanting to have it for a low cost. So they will always pay more, of course, with your platform. And I can't see how it can be profitable for buying 5 apples, for instance.
Yeah, definitely good question, Bas. We do have an answer to that, luckily. Otherwise, we'd be in a very bad spot. No, but our USPs go beyond just the freshness of the product. That's for one. We offer very low prices, and we'll continue to be able to offer these prices as we've already calculated. And lastly, we also found that people really want to support local entrepreneurs. It's a big thing, and it's coming up. And we've also found that from our surveys that people find that it's important. And we also asked specifically if this was something that they thought was important post-corona. So it's not just a phenomenon that's happening now. Considering freshness and order value, it's something that we've already seen grow, and I really do not see that slowing down. The first week, people were a bit asking if we could really do it, but this week we're already seeing a doubling of our average order value and seeing a lot of orders of 100 euros and plus already, which from our calculations allows us to go profitable. So that's just to give you an idea. Regarding the freshness of the products, that's also not a problem, because, so for example, if someone offers or orders and wants it delivered in a few days, we can simply gather the products the day before, and in that way ensure that the products are fresh when they are delivered to your doorstep. And we've already seen that actually from our customer reviews, the products we've delivered so far exceed customer expectations because our entrepreneurs are able to order on the order based on our orders. So they're able to order exactly what we get as orders, which is a big advantage for them because it allows them to keep their prices low and keep the products fresh. And then same day delivery will only make that easier because the products are already on the market and already fresh, just like the customer expects. And all we have to do is ship it to them. In that way, it won't be as cheap as if you wait for a few days, that's for sure. But that's for the customer to decide if that's something they prefer or if they don't prefer that. So it's just an addition to our product offering. Does that answer your question?
To a big extent, yeah, thanks.
Okay.
Thank you. Bas Rieten.
Yeah, great presentation, guys. I just want to elaborate a bit on the horizon of your guys' company, because as you all know, there's a certain romance involved when you go to a market physically. You want to see, you want to taste, you want to feel the produce that you're buying. So I was just curious to see what exactly your horizon plans are, after Corona, when people start, going to the market again for the experience besides for their usual groceries. And moreover, how are you guys then going to compete against established players who especially focus on fresh produce such as Crisp or players such as our very own Picnic? So could you guys elaborate on that a bit?
Yeah, considering romance, I think we kind of covered that in the previous answer as well.
Yeah.
I think there's two groups of customers, and we've already shown that from the customers we have right now. And I also, one of the things we do to solve this, which I haven't elaborated on yet, is we really give the emphasis to the local entrepreneur, and we find that really, really important. So we give them their own space to show their identity, but we also try to let them show a little bit more about themselves on social media, which also is really nice. As the feedback we get from our customers about that is really good. When regarding competition against Crisp and Picnic, I think that's exactly also where we make the difference. We are local, we are the brand and we have the entrepreneurs so if there's a problem, you can also go and see them, which with Picnic you cannot do because they're a bit far-fetched. So we are the company that's close to your heart, and I think that's what really sets us apart. And also comparing to Crisp, that's the same thing. And besides that, we are offering market products. So Crisp, for example, I think doesn't have the wide variety of products that we can offer from that are
finalize the answer, please.
Yeah, so that I think those things combined, the right product offering and the prices and the identity of the entrepreneurs combined, give us the edge over companies like Crisp for some consumers.
Awesome. Thank you very much, jury. Let's have some questions from the audience. Someone's saying markets are now opening up in Rotterdam with 1.5 meter distance and people are already enjoying picking fresh fruits. How would you compete with that, especially if they further open in the near future?
Good question. Funnily enough, we're already doing that because in The Hague, there's the Hague food market. And yeah, we're already competing with them. But we have some entrepreneurs as well that are on the food market already because it's only food and we also have non-food. So we're already competing with them. But yeah, it doesn't seem to matter for our consumer. They want the products, they want it at home, they want it easy, which is also our confirmation that the business model will work post-corona. So the short answer is we are already doing that, already competing with them, and the customers want it still. And the entrepreneurs want it because it gives them extra revenue and they're really happy with it.
Awesome. So you're saying the customers want it. Then there's another question from the audience saying, do the people on the markets actually want it? Is it difficult to persuade them?
Well, obviously, when we started, it wasn't easy. But right now we have 10 plus people on the waiting list, and they aren't people we approached ourselves. They've all come to us. And that's also continued to happen. It's also what has allowed us to scale quickly into other cities. We already have leads from other cities as well. So yeah, the onboarding process is getting a lot easier for us now.
Okay, and what are these people liking that are on the waiting list? Have you asked them, like, why are you coming to us?
Well, I think it's an easy way for them to get extra revenue and get into a market or get an audience that they have never had before, because 97% of them aren't selling online yet. So it's a new way for them to get access to the online market and get extra revenue through that in an easy way. I think that's what makes it attractive for them.
Nice. I'm going to stop you at 1 minute because I started the timer a little bit later. So we have about 1.5 minutes. One more question. Adding to the earlier mentioned, how much of local markets do you believe are rooted in experiential value, like the experience? Perhaps some customers enjoy browsing and the local atmosphere without necessarily the most efficient or cheapest purchase.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to put a number on that. I mean, we have our survey, but I'm not sure how accurate that is for a complete representation. But no, I think from the we have $0 ad spend. Let me say it like that. All of our audience right now is from newspaper articles. So that's the amount of people who simply right now want access to the market and want access to it online, even though it's not the market that they can visit. So I think a lot of people do want access to this market, and it's big enough for us to have a good share and be a profitable business. To put an exact percentage on that, I wouldn't know. It'd be guessing from my part.
I appreciate that honesty. That's good insight. One last question, 30 seconds. This is going to be the devil on my shoulders demanding me to ask you this question. What if Picnic now knocks on your door and offers you a big sum of money? Would you sell this? Or
Depends
any
on
other company?
Yes, but no, right now not. We're still too early.
Okay, that's good to know, maybe for the jury. Awesome, thank you very much. Well done.
Thanks for answering this.
Cool. Okay, guys, what we're gonna do is gonna have a little break again. We are already a little bit past time, but I want to give you guys a break because everyone's been working so hard. And we need some time off. Let's say we see each other at 7:47. Yes, so have a quick toilet break again, get some quick food in your system or some water. And we see each other at 7:47. Pierre, Quizmaster, how are we doing on the Mentimeter?
Well, it's actually being started up there, Jelmer. Thank you. I'm about to start presenting. Oh, doesn't work yet somehow. But let me just say that I've been astonished by the quality of our pitching teams up till now. So yeah, I can only applaud that. Thank you so much for that. And keep on doing the good work. But for now, just stretch your legs, relax a little bit, and we'll continue with the action shortly. In the meantime, I'll try to get the Mentimeter going.
Mentimeter. I wonder. I have no idea about the background of Mentimeter, but maybe they ever were part of challenges like this as well.
No, every company has once been a startup, right? So it could be.
Yeah. But obviously, this is the best route to success.
Of course. What's the most contagious disease? Is it the flu? Is it the plague? Or is it typhoid?
I'm not. Oh, let me get in there as well.
Go to menti.com, use code 3672. That's a different one than last time.
Which is the most contagious disease?
You have 20 seconds left.
Oh boy. We got some nice comments, Pierre. Someone says, you hosts are doing an amazing job. It's 2 a.m. on where I am right now, and I'm still on my feet. Haha.
Amazing. Those are the compliments you want to hear. All right, voting's closed. What's the most contagious disease? Well, it's the flu.
Is it?
It is. It's the flu.
But the flu is okay. Yeah.
The coronavirus isn't the flu, though.
No.
Continuing on. Oh, heh. Some weird stuff is happening. Okay, get in. Start the quiz again.
Yeah. New quiz. Again, quiz.
At the end of April, one cereal was declared to have a higher exchange rate on the market than oil. Which one is it? You have 15 seconds. Is it wheat, rye, or barley?
Oh, wow.
So use your cereal knowledge here, guys. What do you
Pierre,
do breakfast with?
Pierre, can you do full screen? Just press F11.
Oh.
Wheat. Was wheat more expensive?
Well, oil had a negative price, right? So
Yeah, but didn't rye and barley were as well then?
no, it was at the end of April, so that was different.
Oh, it wasn't the 1st of April.
Exactly.
I'm good at cheesy jokes today.
Okay, so continuing on.
Another question.
We have our leaderboard of the last two questions. Heartstorm is winning with 939 points. Congratulations there.
Damn.
So we have this is the quiz for now. We'll come back with another quiz just before we're gonna announce the winners. Don't forget 5K, 2.5K, and 1K for the first, second, and respectively the third prize. But a little entertainment is always nice. Okay.
2 more minutes before we start.
Yeah, we're gonna resume soon.
Resume Zoom.
Resume to Zoom.
You want to play Bon Jovi halfway there?
Are you gonna sing a cappella, Jelmer?
No, I will spare you that misery. We can watch YouTube because we are already at 4 out of 7.
4 out of 7, yeah. We're over halfway there actually. But that doesn't mean anything. I mean, like that means that our number 1, number 2, and number 3 could even be haven't even pitched yet, right? Who knows?
Exactly. There, they have your haircut.
We've just been notified by our technical guy that copyright is an issue with famous songs. So we decided to stop it straight away.
But now it's planted in your head, so you can sing it out.
Exactly, you can continue
By
on
yourself.
with yourself.
The legal department just rang me.
Let's not get the live exactly. Let's not get the live stream go down. Okay.
Oh, we're it's 48 already, so we have to start again.
I'm ready to go, and I'm also really interested to see whether team Remask is also ready.
Let's check if the jury is here.
You ready?
Yes,
Mike.
the jury is ready again. So good luck to the final 3.
We can always count on this jury. Amazing.
Okay, I'm ready too. I will share my screen now.
Go ahead.
I want to talk to you about healthcare workers. They get up every day to fight the coronavirus. Even if they are scared, even if they're scared for their families, they get up, go to the hospitals and save lives. Isn't the least we can do for them giving them the right protective equipment so they can do their jobs and do not have to worry about that? I am Iris, and I am the founder of Remask. We want to revolutionize the way masks are made and the service around it. We have developed a mask with an activated charcoal filter that can filter up to 99% of the coronavirus and other particles. We also developed a surface which takes care of all the logistics around this. There's currently three problems going on. The first problem is the problem of dependence. We are highly dependent on other countries regarding our medical safety. The second problem is misinformation. There is a lot of misinformation around masks, such as fake certificates or masks that simply do not work. And the third problem is the problem of waste. 4.5 million masks that go to waste every week, only in the Netherlands. That is a lot of waste. If you look to that on a global scale, it's even more. So our solution, Remask, is a local solution, a safe solution because it has all the right certificates, a circular solution, and even a cost-effective and cost-competitive solution. Remask exists of two products and a service, which is the product is two components. The medical safety mask, which can be used in the hospital and then sterilized in the hospital itself and reused again. A filter with activated charcoal, which can, as said before, filter more than 99% of the particles. And that can also be reactivated. So also used again. And the surface. And the surface is all the maintenance around the mask. So if a mask is broken, it can be sent back. So it's some kind of aftercare. But also the hospitals will get notifications when they have to check the mask, for example. We already have one hospital that would be willing to test with us and 5 more that are potential pilot studies. We are also talking to one umbrella organization of nursing homes. So why are hospitals interested in this solution instead of the traditional mask? It's a local solution, so that means the masks do not have to come from China. It's a safe solution. They know that it's right because it's produced in the Netherlands and has all the right certificates. And it's a circular solution, which means no waste is produced and also has a green image because it's sustainable. So the next steps, and we're already working on this, is certification. After testing, we will get certification of the mask. Intellectual property rights, we're working on a patent, and funding. Funding to launch this product. If you want to collaborate with us, if you are an investor or you simply have a good idea or you have an expertise you can share with us, please contact us and we will arrange a call. I believe that with the great team I have behind me of experts, professors, coaches, and others, we can make a change in the lives of health professionals so they can do their jobs, feel safe, and save lives. Thank you.
Pierre, you've been muted. Better not?
That's annoying. Oops, I have to repeat again. Thank you so much, Ian. Thank you so much. Really nice that you want to tackle the coronavirus with a technical-based solution, and also really smart that you reach out to the people here looking for collaborations. So that's really smart. I want to ask the jury, Mike, please ask your questions and all jury members.
Thank you. Very impressive. Also, what you're doing, great. Much needed. At the same time, also, of course, a lot that is happening around that, and also in the video that you uploaded to make it into the final 7. I saw already some great names also around Eindhoven that is supporting. So it's good to see that you do the shout out, but also to see that you're already at least in good hands in Eindhoven. I have one question. As in, there are of course many of these examples. You mentioned local, safe, circular. I can imagine, but I'm really curious if you can tell a bit more than also on the part of cost competitive. Because as in yes, we don't have to get it from China, but there's still a lot needed. But there's also, with that a lot needed, a lot of cost. So can you tell a bit more about what you mean with cost competitive?
Yes, of course. I love to elaborate on that. I have actually talked to hospitals about what they pay for masks right now, and also what the normal price is they pay in normal circumstances, because the price has risen a lot. And I have a service model, so hospitals can subscribe to the service, and then they have the maintenance with it. And I've calculated the price of the mask based on the price they would pay if they would have to buy every month the mask, that like the amount of money they pay now. So then I added a little bit of extra money to that, that they have to pay extra because it's a premium product. It's better than the other ones. It actually filters 99% of the virus, and most masks filter like 95%. And also they don't have the struggle of all the logistics behind it. So I've based it on the price they pay right now.
Okay, really interesting that also, of course, in the mask as a service. And final, like, sum up to the question is it then like a bit more expensive, or is it in general more if you talk it over the total budget? Because at a certain moment, of course, if the virus hopefully is over or have a cure, probably we will still using these things in a different way. But more as in, are you then still in the market because it's like really a service that can still with all?
Yes, so for sure, I have actually been anticipating with a situation after Corona, because this is also especially interesting for hospitals that want to pivot to a more sustainable way of dealing with this in a local way. But some hospitals have told me they do not want to change immediately, but maybe when there is a bit more, the situation is a bit less critical, because it's a whole change in the way they get the mask. But then they're definitely interested. So this means that even after the Corona crisis, they would pay the same price. I've calculated with numbers of the normal price, not the price that has risen, but the normal price they pay for mask. Does this answer your question, or should I elaborate a bit more?
Good for now. I'll leave it up to the other jury members. Stephen.
Yes, I think the question was already asked. How do you deal with post-Corona? Because in your presentation, I don't think you addressed that. First of all, good job on the presentation. It was very creative, you know, and you really took us on a story. And of course, the challenge that you're taking up is not easy, because you're actually moving into the medical field. Right? You're making a medical product, and it always has a pretty long timeline. Considering the amount of initiatives that's already going on, how could you ensure that you can still grasp a piece of the market and be on time for that?
Okay, so hospitals are actually, so they told, like a hospital told me they're interested to get this product after Corona. That's the first sign. Furthermore, if I have a service model, it means that I have the clients are bound to me, because they are bound to a service. They pay a price per month. So that means that I have a consistent customer base. Also, I can also turn to consumers, general consumers that would maybe want this mask as well, and then they would have to pay a bit of a higher price, as I've seen on of comparable products. Then they would pay a similar price as they would pay to a comparable product, but higher than the hospitals would pay. And you could also think about, there's also other situations where this mask can be really helpful. For example, for fire workers, it could work, but also think about the fires in Australia. This mask would also be effective for that smoke. So it's actually, active charcoal is a really almost a magical substance. It can filter almost anything from smell to pollutants to viruses to bacteria. So it has a lot of applications, but the hospitals need it most, so that's why I'm targeting them. But I could expand my market as well.
Okay. Finally, how would this prize money actually help you forward?
Yes, I've been thinking about that, and I would use it to test my mask. That's to test a mask that's more or less 3,000 euros, and the rest I would use for a pilot, to work with the first hospital so they could actually use the mask. And this would be a pilot, yeah.
Okay, so there's not much time left for some for questions from the jury. So please, to continue on with other jury members for some brief questions.
Yes, Jin.
Thank you, and thanks for the presentation. Two quick questions. One, how comfortable is the mask given that you have a chocolate in front of the face that's hanging? And then secondly, how about production perspective? If somebody ordered 1 million units today, how many can you deliver? I guess, I mean, how many can you make in a day, for example?
Yes, a really interesting question. So I've done a survey, and that the mask has to be comfortable has been like a priority in this survey, because I've done a survey with people working in hospitals or nursing homes. So they thought it's really important. So I'm designing it on my own face at first. So I make sure it's comfortable for me, but then I'm also trying it out on my roommates, and then I will also try it out with people that want to be involved in this project, that work in nursing homes or in hospitals that I already have contact with, so they can try it too. So we'll send it to them. So comfortability will be a priority, and it's already pretty comfortable. And I will also test it by wearing it for a day, for example. And then the second question was the production. The production is pretty simple of the mask, especially the filter. It's a square filter, which means that no waste of the material is there. And it's really easy to use, kind of a hot, you can think of it as a hot stamp to make the filter bags, and then you can seal it after, also with heat. And you have to think of kind of like a tea bag machine filling tea bags, how these charcoal filters are filled. So it's not a complicated process. The other part of the mask just exists of 2 different kinds of materials, and it's quite easy to make. It has a simple pattern. So, and I think I have an advantage to be in Eindhoven because there's a lot of industry.
Thank you for your question, Iris. We have many questions from other jury members as well, so we have to continue on. So maybe Daniel, maybe you have a brief question, or boss, the 2 bosses, just a really brief one.
Yeah,
No?
sure. Yeah, sure. I've got a small question. What were your first challenges? Because in the presentation we saw 2 different forms of the mask, right? What were the challenges you came up first with the prototypes?
So first, they were pretty complicated. I simplified them a lot because that's important for production, and all the knowledge that I had to gather to make this mask, because it needs a certificate. So there's a lot of information you need to make a medical product. But for that, I called a lot of people from hospitals, other experts, and they helped me out a lot.
Great, thanks.
Okay, so one brief question still from the jury. I'm taking that as a no, so we'll continue on with questions from the audience. We've received many again. So let me continue with this one. Oh, let me look it up. I'm reading it. So there are dozens of companies that produce carbon filtering masks worldwide. How do you differentiate exactly from those?
Well, first of all, I've not seen activated. If it's there, let me know. But I've not seen a mask that will be reactivated, and especially not one with a surface around it. So my mask will be totally circular, which means it can be reactivated and sterilized, which means it's a circular process. So I've not seen the combination of a surface and a mask, and also not the reactivation of the activated charcoal. But let me know if there's someone that does this. Maybe I can collaborate or see how they do it. And
I see. So the reactivation makes it unique. That's great. Okay. So what about safety? Can you ensure that using charcoal as a filter is safe?
Yeah, so actually the last question, there's a lot of masks on the market with activated charcoal, which means that it works. I've done a lot of research and I will be testing most likely this week or otherwise next week. And then I will be sure that also my filter works, but there's a lot of products that have used activated charcoal. So yeah.
I see. So another question. How will you cope with reusing something that should be super clean and safe? And how will you market this considering that people possibly dislike the idea of reusing a face mask?
So I've been working with bacteria before in an earlier project, so I know a lot about working in a sterile and clean way. You can use an autoclave, which is like a big pressure cooker, to sterilize and you're sure that everything is that. If it's like because of the high pressure of water and air and gas. So they use that in labs as well. So you know that it's safe, and they know that too. And also you can reactivate the active charcoal in the same way. So yes.
I've been noticing that there are still some questions from the jury. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yes, Bas Rieten.
Yeah. Yeah, I just had a quick remark about change, actually, because as you all know, people hate change. You know, the mantra prevails, why change a winning team? And I can imagine that people, you know, have a certain reluctancy to adopt medical devices that are novel in a way. So I was just wondering, have you already approached potential customers? And if so, what were their initial response?
Yes, so I've contacted 6 hospitals and an umbrella nursing home organization, and they were all really interested, and they were all replying to me seriously and giving me advice on how to make it as comfortable as possible, how to make it apply to the rules. And also one hospital, a big hospital, specifically told me they were interested also in the service model. And I have to call more hospitals to check my service model, but that's a good sign.
Okay, cool.
And then also Daniel raised his hand. Daniel, do you have a question? Well, if not, we have another question from the audience. Considering the prize money, so how are you planning to spend the prize money in case you were to get it?
As said before, I would use it for testing, and I would also use it for a pilot study.
And is the grand prize enough for that?
The testing is €3,000 for a test for a full mask. And then a pilot would maybe cost a bit of more money, but if I get the first test results, I'm sure I can get more funding from around Eindhoven or on national level. I'm looking into that.
All right, thank you. So this has been all the questions from the audience. If the jury members still have a brief question they want to ask, now is the time. If not, I'd suggest we continue on with the next pitching team.
Yeah, one really. Bas, go.
Sorry, was too late raising my hand in the participants' place. But just a small question, just as someone who isn't totally into the bacteria or virus thing itself, I was wondering, because you said the charcoal is being activated by heat, right?
Yeah.
So when do you know that it isn't activated anymore, and how do you cope with people stressing out? All right, well, my charcoal isn't activated anymore. How does it work exactly?
So water filtration, you can use it for 2 or 3 months. But for the start of I will say that they can use it for a day to be super, super safe. And then I will continue testing to see how long it takes for the charcoal filter to be full, but I'm sure it will work for a day. And it's really easy to reactivate it because you can use a pressure cooker or like an autoclave. And they have that there. So I will start safe because you have to be safe, and then I can do more research in the meantime.
All right, thank you, Iris. Thank you so much for Team Remask. Thank you. That was really nice. So we'll continue on with our next team.
Yeah. There we go. So it's been really amazing for me as a presentation skills coach to see. I also gave a workshop and I saw a lot of the teams implement some of the stuff we discussed in the workshop. So great to see. Let's see if the last two teams, last but not least, 2 teams to go, also implemented that. I see a very happy jury up until now. Bon, are you guys ready?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. You can take over the screen.
Yes. Okay.
Amazing. You have 5 minutes.
Hello, everybody. The weather outside is getting better and better. Many people long for a nice cold drink on a terrace, but unfortunately, this is not possible due to the current situation around the COVID-19. My name is Dino van der Graaf, and on the picture you can see Ruben and Martijn. The 3 of us are the co-founders of Bonbon, and together with a team of enthusiastic students from many different courses, such as tourism management, ICT, and entrepreneurship and retail management, we came with a solution called Bonbon. Bonbon is an ordering and payment application for the hospitality industry, with which we remove the contact moments between the staff and the guest. The guest can place his or her order with Bonbon, and when the order is ready, the staff can place the order at the pickup point, after which the guest receives a message on his or her phone to pick up the order. These orders can be placed constantly, and the guest can pay his total bill at the end. Here you can see the app. Because I'm already logged in, I get to see the screen with which I can check in on the table. By clicking on scan and scanning the NFC tag, the app recognizes which cafe I'm in and which table number I'm sitting at. Then I can place order, which you can see on the middle screen. All products that you order will be visible on your bill. After that, you can click on order and the order will be placed at the restaurant and automatically come out of the receipt printer at the bar. Then the catering staff can prepare the order and put it away at the pickup point. And also give a notification by the app that the order is ready. The catering staff can see which bills are open on our dashboard, as you can see on the live dashboard example. At the moment, we are technically at 80% of a product where we can run a pilot with. We're also working on a plan to scale it after a pilot. Our pilot product consists of a working app for iOS and Android, together with a receipt printer and dashboard for the terrace owner. Because Bonbon is a platform, there are many possibilities. For example, you can add reservations and we can make it possible for someone to not check in on the table and therefore not able to order when there's no reservation. This could automate the distribution of people on the terrace. I would like to thank you for your attention, and we know that Bonbon can make sure that we will soon be able to enjoy a nice cold drink again. Cheers.
Awesome. Well in time. Jury, any questions for Bonbon?
Yes, first of all, also thank you for your pitch, and I totally agree on your last sentence, as in I cannot wait until I have a nice cold beer again somewhere on a terrace. Normally, I would love the terrace in Enschede, Oudermaak, but for this sake, I don't care which city it is, as long as it is a bar and a terrace and it's certainly a cold drink and I can sit with friends, it would be nice. So I hope at least as a jury, I'm still stick with water, but that the people that are watching at home or the ones that already did their pitch, at least already enjoying a nice and well-deserved drink at home. Not to stimulate alcohol, of course, because I know with universities that's sometimes an issue, and otherwise it's not only Bon Jovi that gives us the issue. One question, as in, I'm really curious, as in, I can imagine that your time to market is already like now, as in, because just like the masks, as everybody needs it, but here there are so many cafes that maybe can use the solution. If it's the only solution or there's competition, that actually doesn't even matter, because it's more as in how do you get it to use. So how fast can you go? Because I would almost already say, as in with 80%, yeah, launch it, test it, because there's like a demand before the 1st of June.
Yeah, good question. Yeah, that's also what we're working on, to get it as fast as possible on the market, and that's where the pilot version also is, capable of. But one thing that would help is to speed up the development of the app. And one thing that could help is, of course, the price of this this competition, because there is for us there's a big a hard thing to get done as fast as possible. And that's what I like what I said in my presentation. We're working with lots of students and also ICT students, but it's a platform. It's a complex platform. So development time is one the most important thing for us.
Okay, and before I give it to Jin, because I see one hand already raised from the jury so far, as in, can you tell a bit at least about competition? As in, do you already probably see a lot of others? As in, and how are you going then to the market with this idea? Are you talking already to cafes or?
Yeah, we're talking to cafes, and also for a pilot location, we're already working on that. But also at the same time talking to other companies that doing something like the same for a possibility to cooperate with them. But yeah, competing with them is one of the most important unique selling point of our product, is that you can constantly place an order and not have to pay in between. And another thing is the possibility to give a notification that the order is ready. That's our most unique selling points at this point.
Okay, Jin. Thank you.
I tried to limit to thanks Mike, and thanks for the presentation. I tried to limit to one question, but I still ended up with two anyway, sorry. But the first one is, what is the revenue model? Do you charge based on percentage, or do you charge it based subscription? Second question is, how do you tell who ordered what? If I'm in table 11, how can I distinguish it's my Heineken versus someone else's Heineken?
First, I'm sorry, what was the first question again?
Revenue model. How do you derive revenue?
Yeah, we're of course, for the Corona situation, we want to make it as low as the cost as low as possible for the hospitality industry. But after that, like when it's running again, good running again, we're working with a monthly fee or a fee for every transaction. Also, depending of the results of our pilot, what do you say it? The transactions, the most transaction costs are. So depending on that, we also can choose our fee for the transaction, but also it's possible for a monthly fee for the terrace owners. And the other question was, I'm sorry.
How do you tell who ordered which?
Yeah, that's just like when you check in the table, that's connected to a table number. So everybody that checks in the table, he can order his own thing. And after, if everybody has ordered, the order will be sent to the staff, or when the timer is done. And then when they bring it away, it's connected to the table number. So that's what your thing to know which table it is.
Okay, thank you, Stephen.
Yeah, thank you. So do I understand correctly that you're not sort of creating a pickup point, but you actually want to reopen and have people sitting in the restaurants and bars without the personnel being present?
No, it's sitting in the restaurant and on the terraces, but with a pickup point on the terrace. So one pickup point or maybe more. And then there they can pick up the products. Okay,
then it makes more sense, because I can imagine that people want to experience the atmosphere of the bar or cafe again. Where will the people be? Is that from the bars or the cafes? Is that safe?
Yeah, because we're already made an overview of how it could work in a restaurant. And it's actually the same as in a supermarket with an in and an out line with 1.5 meter in between, where the staff can put the order.
Okay. Yeah, that was my question.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. I don't see any other questions yet, but oh yeah, Danielle, before I give it to you, because I saw in your video, and I see some questions also in the chat, not to take over from the host, about the system. As in your video, I saw you standing on a balcony and sending it to that machine that then prints a receipt with the order. As in, is it applicable to the existing, often of ECE and other systems that these bars and cafes have?
Yeah, that's also for the pilot version. We're building our own system to make possible to test it on very many different locations. But in the meantime, we're also working on connecting to the register systems. That's also what I said, like the team of our developers are also doing research to that. Because that's we know it's possible, but we're also in the meantime working on that. After the pilot, we can easily go to the next step and connecting to the systems.
Great, thank you, Daniel.
Yes, thanks, Dinant. Pretty interesting idea. I have one question, and which is more tailored towards cafes, restaurants, terraces are running very much beyond the products that they sell and the drinks, also on tips for waiters. Yeah. How do you want to organize, or how do you want to organize the tipping around the order with this kind of online ordering system?
Yeah, after you're done and when you want to leave, you can pay an application, and we want to give the people a notification like how many you do want to tip to do a suggestion for that. So that's very easy to implement as well. So you can suggest, okay, you want a 10%, 20%, or maybe €1. So that's also very easy to implement.
Yeah. Have you looked in general more in the broader market of this cafe restaurant system? So there is a huge, in essence, it's a market where you have a lot of small, scattered, low-tech solutions, and there's not really kind of a dominance of a predominant solution. Do you understand why this is such a scattered market?
Yeah, for us, it's how do you call it? Yeah, we know there's no dominated business in this, and after doing, we already had done a lot of market research before Corona started, and it's important to give the complete solution. So for ordering and payment, but also split payments where we're working with, and what we're also going to do in this platform is up and cross selling. So the task of staff in hospitality businesses is also to sell extra stuff to people. So when, for example, when you order a beer, to sell some bitter balls with it. So that's also things that we are implementing in our system to do such suggestions. Actually, same as web shops are also already doing. And for us, it's that kind of stuff. So giving the complete package, we know and we think that that's the thing that will dominate the market.
Awesome. Good questions, Daniel. I've got some really nice questions coming from the audience, and I like this one. I just want to start with this one. How do you split the shares between 20 students? I would like to add, especially if they're Dutch students and they want to see their few pennies.
Yeah, it's like in the app, you're checking in individually. So when you're 20 students, everybody can check in individually. And then you can order the product that you want, and it will also automatically come to your bill. So afterwards, when you have ordered everything, everybody has ordered individually, you can also directly pay your own bill. So that's how it works.
So you're actually out competing Tiki.
Yeah, yeah, something like that.
Awesome. Another question: why will the hospitality industry continue without human contact? People value interactions with their servers while enjoying themselves in places like terraces.
Yeah, that's an interesting question, because we're not taking away the human interaction. Yeah, for Corona, that's different, because you can't have the human interaction for safety reasons between staff and guests. But pre-Corona time, that question also came forward. But when you're not using your staff to sell products, you can use them on another way, just to entertain your guests or to give information about products. So when you think in a way where Bonbon is completely used on the terrace, you can also think of how you can use your staff in a different way, in a more efficient way.
Awesome. Did you talk to any bar owners and how did they respond?
We talked to the bar owners, of course, yeah. Enthusiastic as well, but it's one thing is important to connect to the register systems, so that's why we're also busy with that. But
Sorry, which systems?
The register system, kassasysteem in Dutch, but register systems. That's one important thing. But when that's working, they're enthusiastic about the idea.
So I've got another question, which is actually bridged, linked to that. Someone said, like, it's not about only ordering these types of systems, but does it also offer like accountancy or inventory additions?
Yeah, and that's why we don't want to replace a register system, like I said, and that's why it's important that we work next to it, because when the orders are placed through Bonbon and it comes into the register system, all the management systems will work automatically as well.
Okay, great. So what is the post-COVID plan? Just as a short answer.
After COVID or?
Yeah, after Corona.
After Corona. Yeah, same as what we had before. We want to be the hospitality platform where we can offer like ordering and paying. That's one thing. Upsell and crossing is also one thing, but we're thinking big, and it's only 10 or 20% of our total concept. So there are so many possibilities. Think of gamification, think of reservation, you can be very creative with it. You can think of many things. So that's also a plan, just to get a market share in this time, and then grow with it and put in new ideas.
So, okay. Sorry, maybe I missed it, but what are you going to use the money for in case you win? Or what are you guys going to?
Especially development.
Of
the final product for safety reasons of the users. And all, yeah, just development in a one short word.
Cool. Any questions more from the jury? Mike?
Yeah, to back it up, as I see also in the chat indeed some responses on the post-Corona times, but I will not mention the restaurant, but there's like a restaurant that is called Happy in Den Country. And there, the first thing, if you come in and you sit at the table, is not even sometimes an hello, but you have to order all at the same, and one person can pay. You cannot split the bill. So I see indeed at least potential already, not only for these small cafes, but in general, there are like these systems that it is possible. So no further questions, but more as a nice, and a compliment also to the name, Bonbon. Really.
Thank you.
Good name.
So last question, who are your direct and indirect competitors?
Oh, good question. Yeah, direct competitors are all the already existing ordering systems. They're all doing the same, and that's ordering and directly paying that order. Like, for example, when you're with 3 people on the table, you order 3 beer or 3 Coca-Cola, what you want. And then you have to pay that. And after that, you have to pay again if you want to add a new order. So that are direct competitors, and indirect. Tiki is one of that. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, many.
Cool. Thank you very much. Well done.
Thank you.
Awesome. Then we're going for the last one, aren't we, Pierre?
Going for the last one already. Time is flying.
Time is flying.
It has flown already, and we're going to our last student team, our last startup called Maggie. When I think of Maggie, I have to think of a very famous cartoon show from a few years ago, a baby with yellow skin. But I'm guessing that this has a whole different thing around it. So I would like to invite Team Maggie to share the screen.
Hello, can everyone hear me clearly?
Yep.
Oh, there we go.
Are you ready?
Yes, we are ready.
Okay, everyone get pumped up one more time. Deep breath, last presentation.
Okay.
Kobe, I can see that you have started sharing your screen, but it's still black.
Is it still
Can you
black?
try again, please?
Okay, I'll stop the share. Let me see. Does it
Yep,
work now?
I can see it now.
Yes.
I hope everyone else can. If you can't, let us know.
Yeah, is it good
Great,
to go?
you got 5 more minutes.
Okay, let's start. So, hello everyone. Allow me to introduce you to Maggie, because Maggie cares for your people. Maggie's mission is to help hospitals tend to the well-being of their personnel by providing a bracelet that monitors their health and hygiene. Now, what is the problem that we want to tackle? As we've all seen with the current COVID-19 pandemic, overload in hospitals have been caused all over the world. I do not need to remind you of the horrific examples from the North Italian hospitals. All over Europe, this pandemic caused a high pressure on hospital personnel. This endangers their hygienic awareness and overall performance and can cause exhaustion syndromes. But most importantly, hospital managers are not well prepared for such pandemics as they don't have a monitoring tool for the well-being of their personnel. Now, why should this problem be of importance to us? Well, simply because hospitals and healthcare workers are our only defense against such pandemics. And this is where Maggie comes into play. By providing bracelets that remind healthcare workers of hygienic routines and monitor their well-being through various indicators, we use this data to provide clear-cut analysis and visualization. We enable hospitals to protect and manage their personnel better through this visualization. Now, why should you trust us to take up this task? Well, because we do have the right background, motivation, network, and experience. And we've already established a partnership with Deviser, which is a Belgian software company. So allow me to introduce you to our team. So first, there is Jacob, who's in charge of our engineering and product development. Second, Elias will take care of our finance and accounting. Thirdly, Kobe, me, will be responsible for business development and sales. And finally, Dieter will be covering marketing and design. And as you can see, we are a multidisciplinary team who complement each other well and are internationally minded and have relevant experience within each individual domain. So now let's talk some business. So our total global market size is estimated by Statista to be worth $263 billion US and is expected to grow 13.2% annually over the next 5 years. More specifically in Belgium, there are around 220,000 employees and 68 professional hospitals rather active in the healthcare sector. We also validated, next slide. That doesn't seem to be working. I'm gonna try again. Sorry for the interruption. There we go. So next slide, perfect. Yeah, so we already validated that there is a need in the healthcare sector to monitor the well-being of hospital employees, as we checked with some hospital doctors and personnel that we personally know. And let's also check our product functions. So first of all, we will be integrating some motion sensors in the wristbands, which can detect hand washing. Secondly, we will also include other healthcare indicators such as heart rate, movement, responsiveness, and body temperature. And finally, also most importantly, we will provide a data visualization platform to assist the management of the health of hospital employees. Now let's look at the technical viability. We will have 3 different measurement devices in our smart wristbands, which will transmit the registered data via Bluetooth to the app. And this app will then connect via Wi-Fi to our data lake where the data can be analyzed, simply put. Further, we've also talked about the potential pitfalls. So first, there is the issue of data protection and GDPR. We aim to amend this issue with the option to store the data locally. Secondly, there's also the customer validation. We also have to validate it in bigger samples. So we aim to develop with the potential prize money of SACA, and that's why SACA is so important to us, to implement our MVP ASAP and pivot if needed. And thirdly, we are aware of competitor adaptation, but we believe that we can leverage our first mover advantage and network ties. Then we have also performed a financial forecast, and our business model will be B2B, and subscription-based. And based on our elaborate calculations, we expect to reach our break-even point shortly after 2 years from foundation. So what can we do after the pandemic and how can we grow? Well, we aim to expand internationally, expand to other industries, integrate burnout prevention and decision-making aid for companies and communities, and add more functionalities to our services. Finally, we have also developed a 4-year implementation plan. So as soon as tomorrow, hopefully, with the prize money of SACA, we are able to build our MVP and start our learning. And by 2021, we will use that and apply to an incubation program. By 2022, we aim to reach our first funding stage, which will be required to grow our customer base further. And by 2024, we aim to grow to a customer base of 20,000 wristband users. That was all for now. And we'd like it for your attention. And we're happy to answer all of your questions.
Wow, awesome. Very nice pitch, Kobe. Thank you so much for sharing your idea on how to monitor their health and also keep reminding our health workers on their hygiene regulations. So last round of questions. Last round of questions from our jury.
Yes.
Is the jury ready for the last round of questions?
Of course, and of course also to you compliments is it's always hard to be the first one to start pitching, but also the last one, because you still need to keep their attention, and it's a long night for many people, but you did great on that. So thank you for that. Actually, at the remask, Stephen already mentioned, as you choosing a difficult target group, because it's like the healthcare, it's the med tech. So you tackle actually a problem that we all saw on sometimes impactful videos that is necessary. But in that, there's also a sort of problem, because you tackle data, individual people, and then also in hospitals or in healthcare. And that is always a sort of dangerous thing to really enter that market and to get all the regulation not only possible, but then also are people willing to wear that, knowing that their boss, or the management, or the hospital know exactly how you feel and what you do? Can you give a bit of an answer on that? As in, how do you see that? Because I see a nice big plan, I see a nice pitch deck, and I see all the theoretical elements in there. But I'm curious about just the human factor of, will people use it, and how fast will it be possible to get it into the market? Not because of making the product, but adapting the product.
Yeah, I can answer that. Well, first of all, the main customer validation that we did was checking with the actual management of a specific hospital in Belgium. And they were rather excited by the idea, as they said there were some minor, let's say, practices in place, but there was not an overall like monitoring system. So the demand really comes from there. But also, we would definitely, with an MVP, also check like how far can we go, because we want to include some movement indicators, but maybe that's something that turns out that the employees, for example, completely don't want. So that's something that the MVP really is gonna.
Because that's my curiosity, yes, and the management believes in it and sees, oh, that's convenient. Now I can check everybody, I believe. But what about the personnel, like the staff in the hospital? Will they use it? Did you talk to them?
If I may add to that. So in our concept, there is always the idea to have the option to put your data into the cloud, but you can always opt out and just store every detection and all the sensor data just on your local phone, so that no one else can see it. So that is just for you to know. For example, you get reminded to wash your hands, or maybe it gives you a notification like maybe check up, take a break or something because you're getting tired. So it's always opt out. It's always possible to opt out of pushing your data to the cloud. So that is very important, like you said.
Okay, I think there are more questions also around this topic from the jury. So Bas-Riete, first you.
Yeah, great presentation, guys. Thanks. And just to quickly sum up, yeah, Mike, I completely agree with you. I was actually about to ask you guys a very same question, because I do believe that a potential bottleneck is the very fact that your end paying customer is completely different than your end using customer. And it's crucial to validate both, especially when it comes to, rather important and personal data such as health. So I really agree with you, Mike, that you guys should, before you're going to launch or thinking about scaling, really validate with your using customer instead of your paying customer. Because I mean, like, there are countless of examples of proctoring, software where the initial idea was very noble, but people completely rejected it because they felt like they were being micromanaged or put under severe inspection, which we obviously do not want. And just to end up, especially in a hospital, people are very keen, to have their own personal data protected. So once again, I sincerely suggest you guys should first check with your end using customers instead of your paying customers.
Yes, it's great feedback. Thank you. Is there also a question involved, or?
No, it was basically like just like a quick summary of what Mike said. So
yeah. No, that's great feedback. That's something we really need to focus on, and hopefully with that MVP we can make that happen.
Yeah, that's also the goal of the MVP, to start testing it with the nurses in specific.
Okay, nice. Bas van der Werf.
Yeah, I had you might have thought of it already, but I haven't heard it in any presentation. First of all, to say, of course, yeah, the idea itself, it's pretty great. I can imagine that health workers are really struggling with this, especially during those hard times, which we had the last couple of months and weeks. So the idea for itself, great, and a great initiative. But I can't really see how it would be really different or really to a difference compared to, for instance, Apple Health or an Apple Watch or a Fitbit, or like really developing further from those products. So that's my first question. And the other one is, all right, so have you already, you said you spoke to some people in the hospitals. How are they gonna make sure, and how can you assure the safety of those things for having the bacteria and the virus on itself, or how do you work with that?
So for your first question, how is it different? Well, Apple Watch and the other smart wristbands or smart watches are very expensive for hospitals. I mean, we're talking about 400 euros per piece, while ours would be a lot cheaper than that. And also we would do the data processing for them and offer them the tools to visualize on management level the different indicators for the how their personnel is feeling and the well-being. And what was your second question?
Second one was more about the safety, because if you're wearing like a device on your wrist all day, I can imagine for like the ones that are in the real surgery rooms, they have to make sure everything is off the body, right? So they can't wear it all day. And for the people working on the COVID department of the hospitals, I can imagine they have to take rid of all of the extra stuff as well. So how can you ensure the safety of those health workers, keeping it warm?
I mean, to that question, we will design that you can wear it under your protective layer, because as you probably also know, like during operations or during or these people working with COVID patients, they all wear like excessive protection, and we will design that way they can be worn like underneath the protection.
Okay, thank you. And then for the jury part, still Stephen, and then Jin to close it off.
Stephen, can you ask the question?
Yeah, sorry, I was muted. I'm back, huh? Guys, how can you ensure the reliability of your data? Because the more things you're going to measure, and we have some pretty much experience here at Eindhoven University of Technology. Actually, one startup also working on something like that, measuring lactic acid and so. How do you deal with such large quantities of data, and especially many channels of data, to come down to a reliable signal and that converting into information?
Maybe I'll answer this question. So, of course, this is a lot of data, But if we we know how to use the cloud, like we have worked, like I personally have worked the Google Cloud, and it offers you tools like, I'm not sure how familiar you are with, for example, Google PubSub, where you can just push up to terabytes of data every second. And it just, and you can have it processed, and it scales automatically into huge data lakes and data tables. So I think what you say is true. It will create a lot of data, but because we're in this era where cloud functions and cloud compute is so generally available and so cheap, I think we can tackle that without even investing a lot on beforehand and buying servers and yeah, just growing organically while ingesting this data. So maybe
Okay,
that
but also, is it not just in processing the amount of data, but also the complexity of the multiple channels that you're trying to measure? So on top of that, how do you convince the hospitals that you're a credible startup that they should do business with?
So you mean, how do you convince the hospitals that it's okay to generate this amount of data channels, or?
Know that you come up with a reliable source of information, you know, that the data actually can be converted into information because you use and measure so many channels, just being done by, bluntly said, a couple of students. And of course you have the Belgian company behind you, but will that be enough? In the medical field, I mean, eh?
Yeah, that's a good question. So it might be, well, what we thought of course, is you start with an MVP and you offer your service to a company and you sort of get feedback from them. And we expect that once we launch this MVP and once we get into a feedback loop with a hospital, they start seeing the value. And once you can prove your value in one particular situation, well, we hope and we expect that we will be able to gain trust and sort of grow from there. But I think you make a good point that in any case, like being a startup is just, you have to get your trust from somewhere. So yeah, I think it's a hard.
All right, thank you, Jacob, for your answer. We got some questions from the audience. For instance, this one, how can you offer a cheaper product versus a company like Apple with so many resources who can easily afford to cut down prices?
I honestly don't think Apple is that much interested in going so niche to only hospitals. And furthermore, we do not need all the same components as Apple Watch needs. So we can offer a basic product that has all the functions we want on it, but not Apple has or need.
Yeah, so maybe to continue a little bit on that, let's talk a little bit about your competitors. Would you be outspeeded by them maybe? You showed us that you want to be ready at the beginning of 2021. Will you make it with those regulations? Could you shed a little bit of light on that?
I'm sorry, what was the question in specific?
Well, won't you be outspeeded by your competitors if you're planning to make it at the beginning of 2021?
I mean, 2021 would be the time where we have tested our first, with our first MVP or multiple MVPs. And from there, hopefully get into an incubation program. So at that point, we aim to reach a rather small target of the market and start rebuilding that trust relationship. So that's what we aim to do by 2021.
Okay, so that's your main point of focus. By now, I believe Jin still had an answer, a question from the jury.
Yes, yeah, thank you. And thanks for the presentation as well. I want to step way back for a second, and this being a biometric device, and focus on the ethical aspect of it. So let's say Kim Jong-un takes over, heaven forbid that'll ever happen, and he implements this device to everybody, and he decides to execute with people with poor health, or people who are stressed, or they're lying, or they're not worshiping him. How would you go about, what's your feeling about this ethical issue about these biometric devices?
Well, for example, we've thought of this idea, and maybe in the future expanding it to like regular companies. And then always an issue is what if the company starts to make decisions based on how healthy their personnel is. So that's not what we're willing, what our goal is. So therefore we would make sure that there's a contract that says to the customers or to the employees of a business from, hey, this data can only be used to your benefit. It cannot be used for any kind of layoffs or something like that.
How exactly do you monitor that?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
How exactly do you monitor that the fact that maleficent companies might not go out and use the data of their employees or citizens even to go on with the example that Jin brought forward? Is there some kind of control mechanism?
So I think you make a good point, but I also think that all greatest technologies, they always have a flip side. Like, you invent the fire, you can burn down houses, or you can build your food with it. So I think this is like, it's a very good point, but I also think it's something that comes with every technology. Like, every good technology also has its downsides. So I think I think from our side, we will do our best to sort of monitor this and make sure that our technology is not used for bad causes. But yeah, I'm not sure if it's possible in any case to sort of guarantee that no malicious dictators get to power, but yeah.
All right, thank you. That was the last question asked during this grand final of the Students Against Corona Awards. We've had 7 amazing pitches, really heavy questions being asked to the student teams who've been working very hard on all their ideas in these presentations. For now, it's up to the jury. They will decide who will be the winners of the Students Against Corona Awards, but they need some time for that. So we will resume at 9:20 GMT +2 or 9:20 CET. I want to thank you for your attendance, for your time. Please take a break, have a sip of coffee, do a workout, but be sure to be back at 9:20. Then this might be the correct moment to continue on with our presentation. So guys, focus. We're working up towards our moment supreme. But before we do that, we have to tell you a little bit about the organization behind this. And that might be very interesting for you. So let's talk about DutchSE. DutchSE is a abbreviation of Dutch Students for Entrepreneurship. And it's the initiating organization behind the Students Against Corona Awards. DutchSE is actually the umbrella organization of many student-led initiatives surrounding entrepreneurship within the Netherlands. So I'm talking ECE Students, UtrechtInc students, Yes Delft students, Starten Wageningen, Founders Club, Kickoff EHV from Eindhoven. So almost in every place with a university within the Netherlands, we have these entrepreneurial communities, and DutchSE is the organization bringing them together. But what's really nice about these communities is that we together have the power to organize such cool events like the Students Against Corona Award. But we also provide you with a very interesting network and a supportive environment. So if you are to continue with the ideas you've been working on during SACA or before or later, consider going to your local community. Here's the logos of the community within the Netherlands, or go to www.dutchse.nl/community to find your local community. So if you need help finding specific people, an expert on anything, or just a supportive environment to think of your ideas, these are the places to head to and the people to meet up with. Well, in Corona times, we are doing online events, and that brings upsides. We can connect people from all over the world to one place. So if you ever heard of Dragon's Den, DutchSE is going to do the student alternative version called Lion's Cage. Step into the cage. It's in 2 weeks on May 26th. And what we'll do here is we'll invite student entrepreneurs to pitch in front of an experienced jury of serial entrepreneurs, venture capitalists, and angel investors. So If you're willing to learn more about VC, because before we'll also do an introductory workshop on venture capital if you don't know that much about it, as I know I didn't have before, but now I really enjoy knowing more about that. Please consider going to this event. The link is on the slides. Or if you just want to see some serious VC action for students and not on TV, this is also an amazing event to go to. Well, that was my shameless promotional talk, Jelmer. I've been noticing that the jury is back. Is that correct?
They are back. They are back. They are.
And we made a decision, so that's good.
Wow.
Is it time for me
I have to mention one more thing, Mike, before we continue. I mentioned that many people are behind this event. This event, the Students Against Corona Awards, has been set up by many students that study within the Netherlands, from Rotterdam, from Utrecht, from Delft, from all over the place, and all on a voluntary basis. All because we think that students have the innovative power to create together, to think of new innovative ideas. And yeah, we've been seeing that throughout this evening. We've been seeing very interesting pitches. So yeah, this is an amazing result of that. So a massive thank you to all the organizers. Here's the pictures of them on the slides. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I just want to get a massive round of applause for these students who spent hours and hours of their free time organizing this.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant initiative. And it's
and they've been working day and night, huh? And that's no lie. Like, I've been hearing stories, people continuing on working on this deep into the late hours, 2, 3 a.m. just to put up an event and a challenge like this. So thank you so much, guys. Really well done.
Yeah, and I also would like to, we might do it again, but I just want to thank the jury as well for spending their free time here. They were passionately discussing who's going to win this or who's going to be in the top 3. It's just amazing to have such experienced, well-willing people on board. Thank you guys so much. I'm sure everyone who's watching this is also very thankful for the organizers and the jury. So yeah. I heard there are some letters being sent right now to the hosts. PostNL is a bit busy, they said, but the letter should arrive right now. Have you already received the letter in your mailbox, Pierre?
Yes, but Jelmer, could you maybe take over the screen share?
Yes, I can.
Yes, and before you also announced, I think we're first going to address a bit about every single one. As in, so shall we do that? Because I can imagine that people are curious who wins.
Ahead,
so
we fix
then, yeah. First of all, also on behalf of the jury, on behalf of me, also on behalf of Novelty, a big thank you to organizing this. It's good that students take action in these kind of times, in these special times, and then it's really good to see that it's not only students from one city or whatever, but it's like a combined thing that we, as students in the Netherlands, not even all Dutch, just pick up. So a great compliment, and I think that we as jury members, for whatever we represent, can only support that. So it was an honor for us to do it. I will not start saying that it was hard or easy, because that's what every jury member says. The challenge always is more, as in what do you see happening in front of us, and what do you see happening with that startup or that idea in the potential future, and how does like these kind of moments help with that? So luckily, we want to first say a short version, like a few sentences to everybody, just based on the same order as you did your pitch. And after that, we will announce the top 3. So this is more a bit of the free feedback that you get from these coaches already. And to start with the first pitch, Breezy, that will be something said by Daniel.
Thank you. I will say a few words about Breezy, but as a very, very first thing, really, really big round of applause to all the teams, to everybody who has joined in, and to our fantastic hosts. You can't hear now maybe the applause, but you guys really, really rock. I'm absolutely stoked about being part of the jury and having seen so many absolutely fantastic pitches and such a nice hosting. So talking a little bit about the Breezy team, you guys did really, really well. So a big applause to especially you. What you have done and what I can see or what we see as a jury is you have identified on the one hand a real market opportunity. You have developed a fulfillment model. Actually, you didn't really share all the details around it, but let me just believe that there is a kind of a fulfillment model, scalable and profitable fulfillment model available there. And you also demonstrated some actual traction. So this is something what we as a jury, we as VCs, we as angels want to see. And everything else is just building up the opportunity and pivoting wherever it's not necessary. My background is both in tech and logistics, and that is something what I could see in your model. And I'm a big fan of what you guys have done. Keep on pushing this idea further, and all the best to you guys.
Great, thank you. And then the second pitch was a feed and some words from Jin.
Well, first of all, thank you for this privilege, and absolutely impressed with the quality of all the presentation and the ideas, and especially feed. Very noble idea, and especially serving the underserved market, and very powerful story about, I believe his name was Yo. I think there will be some challenges along the way, but I'm absolutely looking forward to seeing it work and be able to help those that need the help the most. Great job.
Great, and thank you. And then number 3, the pitch from Breeze, Bas van der Ven.
Yes, well, as the other jury members already stated, we were really surprised and blown away by the level of the initiatives that were in the finals. Really great job, all of you, of course. A bit more about Breeze, the social distancing dates. We really liked the idea, and we also stated that the e-mental health sector itself is a really good market and maybe a bit underrated still, but it's a very interesting market as well. It was very nice to see that you've already had a lot of users, right? Some paid dates, and that the platform and the app is working. People are using it. That a lot of percentage of the people is really planning other dates as well. We had some questions regarding the target audience. And the way in which you can assure the safety, and if people are really wanting to go on a date with someone they haven't really spoken to online. So there were a few questions about that. But at the end of the line, we really enjoyed your speech, your presentation, and the idea itself. And I think, or we think, we can have a great impact on as I said, the mental health aspect.
Great.
So,
and
great job.
Yeah, and you also pick number 4, lokale markten.
Yeah, great. I was already going and switching the papers. Lokale markt, the local markets, like a digital marketplace for the one yelling on the Albert Kuip in Amsterdam, for instance. Well, first of all, guys, great energy. I believe Tom, you answered very lot of questions, very good, very to the point, and at least to us, to the jury, it has been seen that you guys are really, took a lot of time, and you really put a lot of effort into developing the whole platform, the idea, the flow of concept, the business model, etc. Very nice that in the small amount of time, in the 10 days that were in advance, you already got some entrepreneurs working with you. You got some money flowing through it, etc. Of course, there were some USPs we weren't too sure about. All right, how are you going to manage the fulfillment, the logistics part? It's crazy, of course, especially for those low cost things and small orders. So I think there are a lot of challenges ahead, but the idea itself, the concept, and the time in which you've developed it was great, and most of all, the enthusiasm was good to see, and very important as well.
Right, thank you. And then for number 5, almost there to announce the winner is Remask Jin again.
So I was really, again, blown away by Iris and her passion. And it's a great solution to a very difficult situation that we face today. And I really also think there's a potential application beyond COVID-19. And while I suspect there'll be some challenges you will face, I'm sure you're getting a lot of support. And I'm confident, absolutely confident that you will see your product being marketed one day. And I'd like to buy one when it's ready.
Right, thank you. And for number 6, Bonbon, Stephen.
I'm glad to have come across Bonbon. The nice part about your pitch is that it was quick and simple. And I think that some innovations just will be implemented and be successful because they're actually simpler instead of more complicated. The fact that the jury didn't have that many questions might be a good sign. And I think that you guys are combining the desire from society to stimulate the economy on the one hand, and also to make life for consumers and private people as normal as possible, given the limitations of the Corona era right now. So big hand on that, and also on the fact of how much you've thought about this already and the easiness of how you could implement it. We do want to give you some feedback on what we saw also in the chat, that there are a lot of initiatives that the real distinguishing factor, it might be slightly limited also if you compare to the competition that's already there, especially when the society might normalize a little bit after Corona. So please make sure that you stay relevant, because then it can be a very nice innovation.
Great, thank you, Stephen. And for the last one, and then we announce the winners, Maggie, Bas.
Yes, last but not least, Maggie. Well, compliments on the way Mike already said it during your pitch, in which you, in the stage you did the pitch after waiting for 2.5 hours and still doing it and bringing it with a lot of power. Maggie itself, the initiative of the smart bands and the way you like to address the side of the health workers itself, really great, of course. As I already mentioned, I think for the last couple of weeks, those people have worked around the clock in order to, for of course our safety, but not only for ours, but for everyone in the world. So that really, nurtures for initiatives for them. We weren't too sure about all the safety issues. So GDPR spoken, but also like with you're getting a crazy amount of data coming your way of all of the users. In which way is it validated with the users? Are they willing to really wear it? I would really dig into that, because on what specific grounds does the wristband need to address or need to be made in order for them to wear it or to see the benefits for them. We were dig into those kinds of things. And the safety, as I said, it's a great part. We weren't sure if the real problem of Kim Jong-un was a great example, but I think, as we said, that's a big part. So be sure to really dig into that and make sure it's safe for everyone.
Right, thank you. And then before I give it back to the host, we will now start announcing, of course, the top 3. And it's again good to know as a jury that we looked at the feasibility. So how feasible do we see it is, the impact, together with the impact is, and what can the prize money sort of make, what kind of impact can it make? And that also has to do with the sort of the stage that the idea or the company is in. So do we still see that it's like a faraway idea? That's great. So I would recommend, I think all jury members would recommend everybody to continue to accept and deal and learn from feedback. But there is potential for everybody, but we need to make a decision. And there it's also as in, hey, what is the stage that we see right now, and where do we see also from that stage they're in, also with the prize money and the moment that we have now, where they can hopefully also finally end. So I think that the hosts did indeed also a great job. By now, at least from my side and the jury side, already received at least number 2 and number 3.
Yes,
so
yes.
before I announce number 1, let's go to the other 2 and 3.
Ooh, who's
Yes,
excited? Who's excited? Before we're gonna go dive into the winners of today. Once again, I just want to say how amazed we are as organizers as well. The level you guys put in. I'm teaching, and Sophia as well, we're teaching sustainability at a university as well. And one of the things I always tell my students is that we need smart, motivated, good people to solve issues. And it honestly is just so good seeing people like you here today. You're here in your free time, you're solving issues. I just want you to allow yourself to have a little bit of an applause for yourself as well. Yeah, we really appreciate it. And I hope you appreciate your own efforts as well. It's really good to see. What we're gonna do, I would like everyone to just have a good smile in the camera. I'll make a print screen. Thumbs up if you want, be happy. Just before we will do the announcement, yes. Just like as if you would be in a normal room. I will make a picture. 3, 2, 1, yeah. Awesome, guys. Okay, so the jury has just sent my co-host Pierre a letter with number 3. Has the letter arrived? Oh no, it's there already.
I have a letter in front of me, and it has a big 3 on it for the 3rd prize of the Students Against Corona Awards. I was pretty amazed actually that it arrived so quickly. I don't know, probably some innovation being involved, but yeah, I have the winner of the 3rd prize here, and whew, I don't know who's more excited, the winning team or myself. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna get it out of the envelope.
Show us who's gonna win the 3rd prize.
2, 1. The 3rd prize of the Students Against Corona Awards goes to Breeze Social Distance Dates. Congratulations, guys! Congratulations!
Yes, awesome! Congratulations!
Congratulations there. Very well done.
You can show some claps.
You can show some claps. You can unmute yourself, Joris. This is the moment where you should be happy.
Yeah, you can.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. It's a great motivation to continue. Over here, we also have Masha. And we're actually with even more people here. I'm not sure if you can see them. Actually some distance.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But
awesome, guys. Well deserved. Well deserved. That was number 3.
Well, congratulations, guys.
Yeah.
Moving on, Jelmer. It's up to you.
Yeah, I just heard the bell ring and I swapped, and it was the postman. And it scared the hell out of me because it's a blue letter. I don't know if you can already see it. Let me just ask the mailman again. Sorry about that. I'm just building the anticipation here. There you go. It's a blue letter, and usually that's not good news, but it has a big 2 on it. Quick delivery. Are you guys curious what's inside? Which winner will be here? Okay, guys, I will show it in the camera. The winner, or I mean the 2nd place, silver medal goes to Bon Bon.
Congratulations.
Bon Bon, 2nd place. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow, that's amazing. That's really amazing. Thank you. That will be big motivation. Yeah, I have a bottle as well with a crown on it.
Celebrate.
To celebrate to celebrate this. Yeah, this will be big motivation for the whole team. Every student.
Did you order this
product?
Did you order this bottle in your app or?
Yeah, of course. They brought it to me.
Yeah, quick delivery these days.
I'm not very.
Yeah, we spoke already about same-day delivery, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, this will help us a lot. Really nice. Okay, I will. I'm not very fast at this, but I will do it as fast as possible. Pop this one. Okay, thanks. Oh.
Awesome. Very nice.
Cheers,
Very
guys.
nice.
Cheers. Hopefully soon we see each other on the terrace. Thanks.
Enjoy. Team Bomb Bomb winning the second prize.
Awesome. We've got one left. We've got 4 teams. Or have we got 5? We've got 5 teams left. One winner.
Yeah, and I think that's up on me to announce. Again, a big congratulations to also Breeze and Bonbon. As in, we're looking forward, and indeed, hopefully also for you, Dinant, next time you're getting served your champagne even quicker with your app. So let's work on that. And if you have nobody to have that drink with, let's hope that Breeze will make sure that ASAP can use their system to find people to drink with. It's not that visible because it's a brown envelope, but some way the post didn't have to bring it that far because I could write it down myself. But again, actually the jury was clear on this one. We had some discussion, of course, but also on the number 1. Why? First of all, we had many questions and doubts, and that's a good thing. Because that shows sometimes also something about the potential, as in, hey, there are real questions to ask. So sometimes it's good there are no questions because it's clear, but sometimes also as in, hey, there is like a dot on the horizon, and do we see a potential to come there? And that has to do with a lot. So it's not only the idea, but it's the team behind it, because we think that there may be many changes that need to be made or many things to adapt. But do we see that? But also, do we see already from today on, because that's Students Against Corona, do we see a change and an impact also to make that? So to not make it any longer and to just announce who gets the 5,000 euros and hopefully can use it also and spends it well to really help and make local impact. The winner of the Students Against Corona Award. And how does this envelope open? I know, of course, what's in it, but for the idea, the winner is Lokale Markten.
Woohoo!
Congratulations, guys.
Well, a very big round of applause and a great enthusiasm I can see by the guys.
I think I just saw Tom jump through the roof there.
Yeah, definitely no social distancing there, but
we're roommates, it's fine.
Yeah, we're good.
Awesome.
So some words from the winners. You tell us, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much. I didn't say that we dare to expect it, but our friends did prepare some drinks. So
we're trying to get it right now.
Yeah, thank you very much.
It was a great journey, and thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you for the time that we had here. It was really great having all the coaching sessions and really perfecting our idea in a kind of pressure cooker way along the way. Thank you so much. Yeah, and cheers to the competition.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Again, thank you everyone who organized this. Thank you so much to the jury for being here, putting your time and effort into these young, amazing people. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you to our sponsors, Mike from Novelty, Danielle from Picnic. Got people from the TU, Eindhoven, Delft, all over. Thank you so much. Good stuff.
Yeah, we're so thankful for our sponsors to make this all happen. It wasn't possible without their help. We've had so many voluntary man hours being put in, but some serious sponsors backing you up can make such a challenge being taken seriously, and that's what you need. So thank you so much to our sponsors. Thank you so much.
Yes, and there was also a lot of women hour put in.
Very good point, Jelmer. And thanks again to our jury.
Yeah, it's
Daniel,
amazing.
Bas,
They
Jin,
spent
Stephen, Bas, Rieter. Thank you for putting in the time and the effort of judging
the
ideas from our student teams. They really have received
Exactly.
valuable feedback, whether they want or not. And
Sorry to your partners, to your children, that we took away a whole evening of you. But it was for the greater cause, for the good cause. So thank you so much. Guys,
If I speak on behalf of the whole jury, you're welcome, and it was a pleasure. And also to all the participants, if you want to continue and you can make use of our efforts, at least feel free to try reach out to us and make use of it, because
yeah, exactly. That was what I was
continue with it. Yeah,
exactly. That's what I wanted to propose. If it's okay with the jury members, that people can add you on LinkedIn. We did a LinkedIn sharing while you guys were deliberating on who's gonna be the top 3. We already shared our LinkedIn profiles. If you want to, you can put them also in the chat, jury members. So some students might add you and maybe contact you. They would be so happy to get your help. And you probably also love to help because you're already here. So good stuff. Thank you so much. A final note from the organizers, Sophia, with the party hat.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank everyone, also the sponsors, hosts, everyone that was involved. But I think I'm especially just gonna thank the whole team. I think it's really cool to see like have all these entrepreneurial boards work together, even in these times. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Thanks for the team.
Awesome. Don't forget to check out Dutch Students for Entrepreneurs. Contact Pierre if you ever need presentation skills coaching, or if you need my help with my context. Check me out, presentthing.nl or LinkedIn. Good stuff. Thank you so much, guys.